Let's record to this computer. Hello! Okay. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to talk to this group, so I'm not going to be looking at the camera. But we just want to welcome everybody. Thank you all for coming. This is great. It's great turnout. For those of you who don't know, I am Rebecca Conover, and yep, that's me.
She's been using oils for many, many years. She has taught us a lot, and she's a mother of three.
So, thank you.
She's very busy in her life and utilizes these oils in every aspect possible.
Thank you. And this is Shelly, Pomeroy, and Brenda, Shelton, and then Shawna Samuelson. So Shawna's kind of at the top of our team, and she is here to share her knowledge today. Brenda is a chiropractor in Longmont. I've known both Brenda and Shelly for a long time. Yeah, I was younger and much more irresponsible when I knew them. So, and Shelly's a massage therapist as well. So they've both been really great to be on this oil journey with me. So Shelly's actually how I got into oils originally. So.
Full circle.
Full circle, yep. So they're going to be helping with the presentation today, and we have a wealth of knowledge here, so I'm really excited for you guys to hear all of this stuff. We're going to kick it off with a raffle.
Lots of things we're going to raffle off, so there's a good chance you're going to win multiples of things today. So I'm going to start out small, and the more you ask questions,
the more tickets.
The more tickets you can get. Ask
how many tickets can we get?
So after Ms. Madonna gets her tickets, this one we're starting off small, but these are great ones to have in your purse. So we're going to give a sample of the Deep Blue Rub, which is great for sore muscles, a sample of the toothpaste, which is got On Guard in it. It's wonderful for your dental health, but it's good for your immune system. This is a good one to take on if you're out of town. Squeeze a little bit out of there. And then their chapstick is fabulous. This one is the herbal flavor. So the first winner is 6044. Yay! Don't be afraid to shout it. Yeah, you have to shout and be like, oh, bam! So then we're going to have a lot of gifts. I'm going to have them keep that. So pull those ones out because we're going to probably have to put them back in. Okay, I'll put them back.
I'm working on trying to get the slideshow up. How did I do this? I just did this like 5 minutes ago, and it's not working now.
Not my department.
Play from current slide.
Ooh, I like it.
See, it keeps going to this view. I don't want this.
That's the presentation view.
Yeah, it's not. I want it, like when I do play from start, it puts it back in presentation view. I just want it in the, where it's all the slideshow. Nope, that's not what I want. Do you know, Wendy? Are you good at this?
Are you not trying to do slideshow?
I don't want, because it's doing the counter. You can see the next slide that's coming up. I don't want that. I just want full screen slide.
That's what it was, honey.
No, it's doing.
So you can just click on the next slide to go.
Yeah, but.
It'll show just one slide.
Yeah, look at there. See, it's showing us just one slide.
And
okay.
It shows your other slide.
Well, these guys are going to see. You guys will see something different on the computer.
It's different than what's on
I know. I don't.
Yeah,
I just want it slideshow. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, for those of you that are out of state, get on a plane. All right. We're just going to go. We're going to roll with this. I hope you guys are good. For those of you on online, if you have a question, there is a chat box. So maybe shoot a chat, or my phone number is 303-250-7756. Use that as you will. Shoot me a text and I'll try to watch my phone. Okay. So we are going to get started. Let me make sure I don't have any. Nope. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about is why you want to come to convention. So for one, I make up random songs. You don't want to miss that. Two, So we get a lot of company updates. We hear a lot of science, get a lot of education. Of course, the new products, that's what everybody loves about convention. The philanthropy projects, co-impact resourcing, and healing hands. We get a lot of updates on what the company is doing. All the cool sourcing information. A lot of times we get to meet a new farmer that they might have implemented. So good stuff. Lots of science, medical information. Brenda was able to go to a medical symposium the day before convention. So she got a lot of good cryptic medical terminology and just to hear a little bit more about what doTERRA is doing in the medical side. Do you want to give a little blip on that, maybe? What you?
Sure.
They can kind of see
there
you.
were 500 medical people there, doctors, nurses, chiropractors, you name it. The panel was amazing, all Western med docs, orthopedic surgeon, OBGYN, emergency, family practice, and it was really interesting to see how they are completely implementing oils into their practices. The one that came close to my heart was the orthopedic surgeon who does joint replacement, and his patients, when they come into consult with him, initial consult, they're offered aromatherapy, hand and foot massages before the doctor comes in, so they don't have the white coat syndrome, and they're not so nervous because they're all going into replacement. When they go into the hospital for pre-op, once they're gowned, the aromatherapist comes back in then, and they're doing oils on their hands and feet before surgery. The anesthesiologist during surgery is using oils as they intubate. Post-surgery, they have oils there, and this orthopedic surgeon says he doesn't want people in his penalty box, which are his infection patients. So his patients use oils for 6 months post-op, internally as well as on their scarring to avoid the infections. So what we're seeing with the medical, the Western practices are huge. So, woohoo!
Were you
Yes.
able to share your story with him?
I wasn't. I went to talk to him afterwards, and he was the only one that wasn't still there. So I have an email that I'm ready to send to him with my husband's labs.
And for those at home and those who are here that don't know Brenda's story, you want to give a brief overview?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So
do.
it's
not brief.
Yeah.
Long story short, my husband has had numerous joint replacements. In 2015, he got a staph infection in a replaced joint. We opted to just have it washed because taking out the joint would have been very damaging. And his lovely Cindy's here, so we love Cindy. But so he did really well, but then he went in early in February to talk about replacing his other side because he's very deficient and defunct and means all bionic joints. And a week later, he reinfected. So he ended up back with another, they explanted his knee in February. We spent 3 months with no knee, IV antibiotics, lots of stuff. And towards the end of his IVs, his numbers were not going down. They were starting to go up. And I kept saying, is anybody concerned? And they're like, it's kind of a fluke, it'll be okay. But his numbers were going way up. And we were doing oils with him. And I freaked out, called Shelly and said, what else can I do? Because his numbers had jumped high enough that I knew they weren't going to probably take him into surgery. And they said, she had just come from Symphony of Cells. If you want to go to that class, it'll be amazing. It'll be in Fort Collins soon.
That's coming up, yeah.
January. So we did the whole infectious disease protocol with him for 1 week. His numbers were at 24 to start with. In 1 week, we dropped him to 11, and he was on for surgery. So, there's nothing else did we do differently. So in my opinion, the oils and his PA was like the oils pretty much saved his life. So I think we would have looked at the amputation versus a new knee joint. So thank you, doTERRA.
Yes. Good. Okay, so any other input on why we want to go to convention?
You
What
get
we
to
like?
take pictures with the doTERRA letters.
Well, if that's it, really. I mean, that just kicks it right out of the water. Yeah, we do a lot of teaming. We have a great team party. Lots of rubbing shoulders with crazy 30,000 people that are all mad oil users in a happy way. For the most part, the swag shop. Whoa! You don't want to miss the swag shop.
There was a line.
Yeah. Swag shop is where you can only get stuff, doTERRA branded items, cases, bags, shirts, all kinds of stuff. People go bonkers over the swag shop. So They never sell it really again. We did see a few of the items from last year's swag shop pop out in the back office. You might remember the train case, the little purple flower bag, a couple things like that are some of the items that come out, but we don't ever know if they're gonna see them again. So anyway, lots of good reasons. If you guys are at all thinking of coming to convention, we'll show you. That ended at noon today. Never mind. Well, pre-registration. Registration will open in March if you haven't pre-registered already. So we'll give you more info on that later. All right, so since last year, did you text me that? Okay, let's try this. Hold on one moment. We're gonna have fun as I try to maneuver through. Look at all this. Bear with me, everyone. How do I get it big? $61 million bottles of essential oils in the supply chain. I don't think, I'm gonna move my sharing options so it just sees my whole computer desktop, because then those at home did not see that video, but then you'll be able to see this. That's gonna be one of our next ones. Go back to PowerPoint. No, not that. Sorry. There we go. We'll play that in a minute. Okay. So that's the scoop. Anything else since we last met? Last year? Nope. Okay, so for 2018, new distribution center in Dallas, Texas is coming, new product center in Anchorage, and Honolulu. So just shows how much we're growing, the new centers that are gonna come up. This is kind of a new map too of some of the co-impact resourcing projects that are gonna pop up.
What's the product center? It's a distribution center, so people will get their oils faster. So say someone in Alaska where it would take 10 days for them to get their oils, they'll take them 2 to 3 days to get it instead. So it'll be nice to have those extra centers.
And this is just an updated sourcing map. They've switched a little bit of the like wild orange. We'll talk about that. So just kind of an updated map of where we're sourcing a lot of our plants and
And
trees and all that.
Why we source products in these appropriate places versus. Sorry. She was going to put some background music.
Right.
I don't know. I just didn't people know why we.
For,
Say that, Wendy.
yeah.
Yeah, to get the purest oil, we want to grow them where they're indigenous, right? So where they're from. So instead of us using lavender that's grown in the United States, we want to use lavender that's grown in France for its chemical constitution.
Good. So here's kind of some of the reasons, the guiding principles around where we sort. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's kind of small type print, but generating jobs, providing fair and on-time payments, building supplier capacity, sustaining long-term partnerships, ensuring fair labor conditions, promoting cooperatives, ensuring environmental stewardship, and facilitating community development. This is the real guiding principles around why we source, what the co-impact resourcing is all about and all that. Come in. Yes.
How do they decide? I mean, if there's countries that have several different places, how do they decide?
Well, what was the one where they were gonna source in the one place and then they found a better location? If
The Roman chamomile.
is that what it was where they changed? So really what it is, and jump in here if I'm missing something, but they go to the place really where there's generations of farmers who are masters at this. So and looking for communities and really seeking out a place where they could grow the community a little bit more, give back to that community in order to benefit it. So it's not just finding a farmer that's good at farming this. It's there's a kind of a whole cycle about it. They want to make sure that they can actually give back to that community in turn and really favor them. We pay them fair wages, above what they normally get when they just sell their crop off to random companies. So we make it worth their time. We develop a partnership, kind of like a family, really. So they look for a lot more. Is that anything else?
Well, they also scientifically, they look at the chemical components of
Right.
the air quality, soil quality, everything that comes together for the plant. So that's another, so like if they go and find a plant somewhere where it has not the right, when they
Chemical
do,
constituents,
they don't
yeah.
do, doesn't have all the right little peaks and stuff on their scientific
Charts.
tests, so then they go, okay, well, this is
So how is that monitored? And does someone from doTERRA?
The testing? Like how do they test that and determine it? Yeah. This goes back.
Ongoing.
This goes back to the CPTG. Yeah, ongoing testing of the crops. This is a lot of why we haven't had Roman chamomile in the past. It just recently came back. So they'll continuously test each batch. So it's distilled at the farms locally, and then it's sent off to a third party, one that isn't involved with doTERRA, doesn't financially benefit off of it. They do, actually when I first started 5 years ago, it was a 3-step test process, and now it's up to 11 steps. So anytime any new science, any new technology comes into play where they could really prove purity and potency on an essential oil, they'll have that third party do that new testing method as well. So any type of testing that they can do to really prove it, they'll implement that just to make sure. So every barrel, every batch of oil that comes to them, they test it all just to make sure each one is consistent and the same. And truly, if it doesn't show up with the right properties in it, or if there's something off with it, some kind of toxin might have gotten in there somehow, the batch goes out. So they don't bottle it, they don't distribute it, which is a lot of why we haven't had like Melissa, Roman chamomile. One of the things that we'll talk about too is our white fur is going away. So that was kind of one of the things they couldn't keep sustainably sourcing that one. So they kind of had to look at a replacement. So that's the nice thing about doTERRA, is that we can truly trust that they're going to make sure every barrel and every batch of oil is pure and not no toxin got into it whatsoever. So, which is a lot of why we can take them internally as well.
So when they get a barrel of oil,
Mhm.
do they do anything to it before bottling it? Is it just
That's where they test. Yeah, they
but
test
just
that.
testing?
Yep.
They don't
No,
add
they
anything?
don't.
No. Nope. Yeah, they don't want anything added in there. They want it strictly pure oil.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why Cypress was unavailable for like a 2-week period.
Yeah.
We tried to get Cypress and it was down.
Yeah.
I called Rebecca and said, I can't get it. She called them and they said, got a bad batch.
Yeah.
Back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I have a question about, you said the white fur is going away.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah,
when
it's
you
gone.
say they're sustainably sourcing it, what?
Like, what does
It's
sustainably mean?
Well,
Or
I know what sustainable
Okay.
means, but so how do they do it without wiping out
that's
the entire?
what they want to make sure they're not doing. They want to make sure it's something that's growing abundantly, basically.
So white
Not where
fur's
they.
gone.
Yeah.
They won't.
It might come back in the future. Yeah. Yeah, there will be a
Are you
replacement. We'll
about
talk
the
about
white
that.
fur, or you-
No, I'm just curious about the process.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, I don't know if we want to do it here, but they talked a lot about in Somalia getting the frankincense, and they actually sent an environmentalist scientist or rep to us to Somalia to make sure that the harvesters were doing their proper harvesting of the oil from the
Tree.
resin,
The right.
so that the trees weren't being destroyed. So they're teaching them, in addition, how to best harvest to keep the plants healthy for longevity. So
Right.
that we have oil.
Yet some plants can regenerate and they know that, and some don't at all, and they have to replant every single
Okay.
year.
There
So
we
every
go.
plant is
Yeah.
different,
Okay, yeah.
and they know that. We have some very
People are
smart
working hard.
people, environmental farmers that know all of this, that it's covered. So, and when it gets to the point like white fur, that they know that they can't keep up with it for one, and for two, they're not able to keep it as clean and organic as they want it to be, then they know we're going to kick it over and it'll be one of these new products that we talked about here that is actually going to be even better product.
That doesn't mean to say that white fur won't ever come back. They might find another way to source it in a more sustainable matter. But for now, this is just what we're looking at. But yeah,
I was kind of
I'll get you next, Kim.
wondering where white fur was coming from. You know?
Oh, where they were harvesting?
Yeah.
It says in the Modern Essentials. It should, right? We can look it up. Yeah, that's a good question. Kim?
Siberian fur, is it coming from the same area?
No,
Okay.
no, yeah.
I was just gonna say there's also a scientific advisor that works with doTERRA that makes suggestions
On
plants and
where to plant
where
them.
to plant them and how.
Yep.
Is there anything in the States?
Yes. Peppermint, lemon.
White fur out of here.
There's a couple. I can't think of them right off the bat, but yeah. Go ahead.
At convention, did they speak to how they're going to continue with the growth of the company? Did they speak about how they're going to be able to continue?
Well, kind of like what the additional distribution centers, things like that, that is speaking to the growth. As far as plants, pulling in the plants and all that, sometimes they might, and I don't know that we know fully like acreage, how many acres of a certain type of plant they might have. Maybe they grow a little bit more, extend it there. I know there's a couple, isn't there a couple that we'll have 2 locations for? So that there's 2 farms doing it at the same time. So they'll continue to implement and grow. I think they had a hard time keeping up at first because doTERRA really came out with a bang. And so I think they've gotten into the swing of it and are able to kind of keep up a little bit better. I've noticed that anyway, with the products and even with the back office side of it all. Our computer side, just when people are trying to order things when it first comes out, all of that. So they try to stay a little bit a step ahead. doTERRA is awesome too about feedback. So when it hits the fan, then they will listen to what we're saying, they see where the problem is, and they make it right the next time. So I've seen that really consistently over the last 5 years, and which is another thing I love about them. We know if it screws up, that's okay. They're figuring it out, and they know how to make it better. Plant-wise, product-wise, whatever it is, computer side, all of that.
So there's doTERRA sources from 85 different countries, and the cool thing is all of our sourcing is 100% to us. So we don't have there's not another oil company getting from that farmer. They're exclusive to doTERRA.
Mm-hmm.
And they have it projected 5 years out with everything, so they really make sure that we'll have products for at least 5 years for each product.
Yeah, they're planning, like now they're planning at least a couple years, if not to 5 years out, what new oil might come. So they know what's going to happen in the next few years for new products, new oils, all that kind of stuff, and then how to keep up with the girls. So yeah. It's when does anybody know where that third party company is? I don't think I've heard, I feel like it's in California, but I don't know why I feel that way. Yeah. Yeah. So it pretty much all goes straight to that company before it comes to doTERRA to be bottled. So, does that answer? Okay.
So Siberian fir comes from Canada. And I'm almost on it. Wait.
Oh, where it was sourced from?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I almost wanted to say it was Canada.
I didn't even look for it.
I thought that was Canada.
I know Douglas fir is Canada. That was.
I think it's really cool when it's edible.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to know more.
Yeah. We'll talk about uses here. Okay, so let's touch on some co-impact resourcing. Who's got that topic?
I do. So we've talked about a lot of it already, but so doTERRA realized that eventually we'd run out of the supply chain for precious oils, so that's why they wanted to do co-impact sourcing too, to where they grow naturally, thus we can have that impact on the world. So in Africa, I'll just update a couple of different areas. In Africa.
Wait a sec. Let's go. Do you have anything on Kenya? Let's talk Kenya here real quick.
So
okay.
There's a project that's about a year old in Kenya right now. Ginger is resourced there. And doTERRA basically built a new bridge over this dangerous river so they could cross it. They helped with an extensive irrigation system there because of the dry climate, so that they can bring more productive agriculture to that area of Kenya. They also just built 2 new schools in Kenya to help with their education.
Thank you. Haiti. Well, it's pretty much right there. Yeah. Yeah, so the money that was donated, let me back it up here and just explain for people that may not understand. So Healing Hands is doTERRA's, what's the word? Donation company, charity, nonprofit. There you go. Thank you. So by donating to Healing Hands, which you can do a couple different ways, and we'll touch base on that again at the end of it, but there's ways to do it when you order through Amazon. You can order the rose lotion, the hope oil. These are all ways to kind of donate it. What? Yeah.
Smile.
Yeah, smile.amazon.com lets you choose a charity to donate to. Healing Hands is listed there, and it gives you a percentage. Yeah.
Just so you're there, that's not where you get your oils.
No, do not order your
That's where you're
oils.
getting your rose lotion.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No,
Do not order anything doTERRA related through there. Order your, bottle supplies or whatever through there, or your tennis shoes or whatever. Yeah.
You name your charity that you want your donation to go to when you order your
Right.
stuff online.
Yeah, and it gives a small percentage of each purchase you buy to there. Like if I type in Amazon.com in my browser, I go to smile.amazon.com enough that it says, whoa, you want to go back over to Smile or do you want to stay here on Amazon? So so just make sure you order. It's exact same website, all of that. You just get to choose the charity you want to donate to. So, but you can also put $1 on your LRP. Just every time you process your order every month, donate $1. You can also choose chunks of money too that you can donate as well, like $20, $50, whatever you want to do. And then there's random times that things will come out where you can donate through Healing Hands. So let me get through this, Kim, and then I'll answer. So Healing Hands basically takes that money and they throw it back into co-impact resourcing or some of the other philanthropy projects that we'll talk about, which that'll lead into, we're jumping way past all of our slides. So, but anyway, they take that money, they put it back into these farming communities, into these other partnerships that we have with other companies, and really just a ton of money has come in over time. Sometimes they have special projects like Haiti. There might have been a special promotion that came out where all that Healing Hands money was going specifically to Haiti. So that's kind of a lot what they meant with the hurricanes that passed through there, 588 roofs, 3 new water systems, elementary school, and a distillery drying facility were all implemented just from the Healing Hands money. Plus it helps them, the farmers there, they grow vetiver. Vetiver is a gnarly plant, just really grassy, strawy, really hard to handle and manage. So these guys are awesome. I love vetiver. Okay, go ahead. Nepal. Anything else? Right here.
Basically the same thing. We have 3 new schools in Nepal. There's a vet health clinic and a high school. Schools have been funded numerous times there, and a lot of disaster relief that goes on there also.
Can I add that something about the schools? This was more so in frankincense, but they, when doTERRA went in and they said they were going to do schools, they made sure that everyone, there's a lot of, as you all probably know, other countries really just educate their boys. Very different than how we are here, obviously. But doTERRA went in and said, under no circumstances is it just boys that gets educated. If we're going to give you schools, it's everyone, and girls are equal to boys, and they agree. So that's huge.
So Somalia.
Hold on just a second, Michelle has a question.
Oh.
What oil do they harvest from Nepal? Winter.
Right. Kim, I forgot to get to you.
I just wanted to bring up about the helping hands. So there's 5 million people that have accounts with doTERRA.
Right, I have that fact.
Even just, no, but even just
If everybody donates $1, that's $5 million every month that would get donated to Healing Hands. So, and I just put on our facts at the end, there were only 30,000 people at convention. That's not even a fraction of how many wellness advocates and wholesale customers there are. If 30,000 people that were at convention donated $1, that's $30,000 every month that would go back into Healing Hands. So this is giant money. Just by, you have a checkbox on your LRP, it says donate $1. Just by checking that, you're contributing massively, even though it feels like just a tiny little amount. So $12 a year to Healing Hands, and you really can help contribute. So, oh, did we have more on Somalia?
Somalia and Somaliland.
Yeah, they're kind of, well, no, I don't have the Somaliland slide, so.
Okay, so Somaliland is where a lot of the frankincense is born. They're grown, and those trees can die, and they're fine. They sent an ecologist in that helped them learn to manage those trees, because if they get more than, they're not like cutting the tree, they're actually scraping the tree to get it to bleed the resin, and they have to be very careful, because if it gets over 100 cuts without letting it heal, it will kill the tree. So a lot of the trees were being killed. So when doTERRA went in with their ecologist, they helped protect those trees from that occurring. And the new hope that's out there is that they're actually, because they're managing the ecosystem, they're actually seeing new growth of trees, little baby trees coming up, which is huge, which means frankincense hopefully here to stay. So the leaders there used to never get along, but they've come together to form a union to say, let's all gather together and make this work for the good of our country. A third of the people live in Somaliland. So,
is there an age for the frankincense, the tree itself? Is there an age where they can harvest?
Like when it's done by, like the age that it's cut
Yeah.
off, or how old it needs to be before they
Yeah,
can start harvesting. I don't know
I don't
that.
think anybody announced that.
Yeah.
They lived a very long time. And it's interesting to see, they showed us pictures of areas that were really flourishing and the areas that were not, because they were allowing them to scrape them. But I think it was under 30 cuts, maybe it's 50, actually makes the tree stronger. But when you do it, like Brenda said, 100 or more, it really devastates the whole area. And I love seeing that, you guys remember seeing, they showed some of these trees can grow in soil and some can grow in the volcanic rock. And that kind of speaks to how powerful frankincense oil is, that it's a really powerful oil. If you don't know what to use, frankincense is your one. And look at how it can grow. It is a very versatile plant. It can survive 120 degrees.
And this is the only place it grows. This is it.
Right, Somalia is it.
I have a question about frankincense, because on Facebook, I have seen them talking about different kinds of frankincense.
Okay.
So
Strands
We
of
use
it?
multiple Is it, how many, 7?
7, I think.
Yeah, they use 7 different plants, Madonna, so that it is, they get all the positive effects of all of them. That's for 1, but for 2, so that, say there is an area like Brenda's talking about that is devastated because they've over harvested, then we have this other 6 strains that other plant trees that we can pull from. So we're set up marvelously with our frankincense.
But is it the same? I mean, there's
They all
not
have a
different
little bit,
kinds-
they all basically do the same thing,
Okay.
but they all do a teeny bit. One may have more of a constituent than the other, but that's why they want it well-rounded. I think we're
So
one
the
of the
blend.
very few companies that have that many strains in our bottle.
Oh, okay.
That's a
But it-
blend of all of them together.
Exactly, but it makes it so that we also have a, like you were saying, Lindsay, how are we gonna keep these plants forever? How are we gonna keep doing this? That's why, because they were smart enough to know we gotta have 7 different strains of this plant, so that they can rest them sometimes and know when to harvest the others.
Yes.
I just want to make the comment too about the co-sourcing in Somalia. Not just that they didn't know how to not, take care of the trees, but because doTERRA pays them a fair price, they don't have to over harvest to support their families.
Right. That's a
And
good point. Yeah,
cool.
they talked a lot about how the farmers there would actually over harvest the trees because they just needed more money. Their money might have been running low for their families, and so they start hacking away at the tree again to sell off another batch. But because doTERRA is paying them fair wages, they're not in such a money crunch all the time to where they're just tearing at these trees and destroying them. They give them the time that they need to cycle back around and be ready to be harvested again. Nick
We're
that.
gonna do a
We're
quick
gonna do
raffle.
yep,
Okay.
quick raffle.
Look at your tickets, girls.
Ready? It's 6042.
And the prize is a diffuser keychain that we got.
Golf clap.
We just got golf.
The tree has to be 8 to 10 years old before they can start harvesting.
There you go.
Good job.
There you go, Pam.
Wow.
Thank you, Kim.
Ticket.
Ticket. Ladies, can you guys speak loud because the people on the computer can't hear as well?
Oh,
Thank you,
yeah.
Christine.
We're loudspeakers.
Okay, let's talk new products. Okay,
As you talk about them, we can walk around.
let's do it.
Smell.
You guys don't get to smell. Sorry. Okay, so we're gonna talk. So doTERRA came out with 6 singles, 1 new product, and 3 blends. So, and we also have a new diffuser. So we'll talk about that as well. So this was one of the rare conventions where we were pretty much all oil-based on the new product release, which was really exciting. So even though it might seem a little bit simpler, it's really exciting. So first one we're going to talk about is Blue Tansy. So the cool thing about Blue Tansy is the oil that is in what oil? Okay, I needed one person to answer that. Everybody gets a ticket.
Okay.
You and everybody gets a new car.
I'll just take the blue tansy.
So right? Yeah, so the cool thing about Blue Tansy is it will actually make you look like a Smurf. Look at this. So one of the things you want to do with Blue Tansy is, now we're gonna watch this by the end of the presentation. You'll see how it's actually absorbed into my hand. So it's not actually gonna stain you. Oh, you guys have Blue Tansy. Okay, good. So the uses for, Shawna, you want to cover uses? Do you have uses? I'm back in my book.
Okay, so the uses of Blue Tansy for the aroma, it will uplift mood and create a positive environment. Topically, it soothes skin irritations. You apply locally to calm overactive tissues and ease discomfort. And it's also good for beauty oil. So, but you don't want to turn it into a smudge.
You don't want to.
So you can add it to, if you add it to a lotion or fractionated coconut oil, it won't turn blue.
Yeah.
And it will go away.
So diluting Blue Tansy is a killer idea. You really want to stick with that one. Just add coconut oil to it. We're going to talk a little bit more about diluting in a little bit because dilution is a good thing in almost all cases. So, but we'll get into that later.
And doTERRA is always teaching us new things. So what we thought before about diluting, now we dilute everything. So they'll teach you about that.
So here's a little bit more science on blue tansy.
This is a sciencey thing. So actually, blue tansy, the oil, it's not blue when they first get it.
Ooh,
But
yeah,
what
talk about
happens
that.
is when they distill it, it forms a chemical reaction which causes that.
The blue hue.
Brenda, how do you say that? The chamazoline.
Very
Chamazoline,
good. Yeah.
And that's what makes it blue. And so that is one of the reasons.
So you can see some of the uses there. It kind of gives you the chart. Soothing skin or soothing relief, skin support, antioxidant, and immunity.
So one of the things that, I don't know, was it Dr. Bill? Someone was saying a good application method was using combination with lemongrass, marjoram, or cinnamon. Oh, sorry.
So aroma and topical, 2 different ways to use it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, apply topically to skin irritations, locally to calm overactive tissue needs discomfort. You went over all this.
Yeah.
Diffuse to uplift. Yep,
And
okay.
it's really good for cracked skin. So, you know, in the wintertime, how everybody starts getting cracked skin on their hands, it's gonna be really good for that. Really?
So you don't use it for like anti-aging or anything like that. It's just more like healing.
Healing.
Yeah.
I'm thinking cracks under heels.
Yeah.
Would that be a good one for psoriasis? If someone had,
Oh, yeah.
the psoriasis?
Then it would.
Yep.
That's an example that causes the arthritis.
Psoriatic.
Yeah, it would be good for both, actually, the arthritis part and the psoriasis, the skin and the getting into the joints. Yeah.
And when they're saying overactive tissues, what do you mean by overactive? What do you think of that? It's specific.
So that's like, say you have a skin irritation of some sort.
Inflammation.
Oh, okay.
That's non-compliant.
So I can explain it this way. I think this is okay. If say you are you have some kind of environmental thing you're around that flares you and your body is going to produce histamine, so you're going to get a reaction from that.
Okay,
And then you're calming it down.
so they're saying overactive tissue instead of saying inflammation?
Yes.
Because they can't say that.
Right.
Okay.
So basically,
You can't
it's
say inflammation.
it's going to help the
It's
body
FDA violation.
histamines that our bodies would produce and that we overreact to, kind of a thing.
Somewhat. You might want to use more of a lavender to calm down and histamine release. This is what we're talking about. Is really just more on a
Topical, yeah. Okay,
There is
so
information on all these new products, so I don't have to sit down and write all this.
No, yeah, there's gonna
information.
be, there'll be a lot
Where
of
do we
stuff.
get this? Is it in the new
The book.
book?
The new book.
yeah,
book. We posted a ton on our Facebook pages.
Yeah.
And it eventually will be in the product information when it's released.
yeah.
You can click on the product information and it'll be more.
You'll be able to find it in the back office on the doTERRA website, and there's always a good little blip about it. If you, I don't know how many know this, when you're on the actual product on the web page, say you go to Blue Tansy, you see a little paragraph about it. It gives you the price, all that. When you scroll to the bottom of that page, you see PIP, product information page. Click on that. It's going to give you more detail, a lot more full detail, more ingredients, the nutrition labels on things that are nutrition supplements, things like that. So just look at the bottom of those screens because you'll see additional resources down at the bottom. And sometimes there's a video on it too. I love videos. Okay, Blue Tansy. Consider diluting, yep, so you don't get the Smurf effect. Add 1 or 2 drops to doTERRA skincare or lotion, and then blend with other oils. So like Dr. Ho mentioned in the previous screen, some good oils to blend it with.
Okay, so topical only. It's
For the Blue Tansy?
Yeah.
You can do it topically or aromatically.
aromatic.
Yeah.
Not internally. Okay.
So this oil can be said one of 3 ways we have determined. I'm going to tell you all 3 ways, and you pick what you want to say. So I like to say copaiba, copaiba, eating a pie, or copaiba, that's another one, or what's the other one? I don't remember.
Copaiba.
No, that's throwing another syllable in.
Okay.
Copaiba, copaiba, that was what it
I'm
was.
gonna go with Shawna because
Yeah, copaiba, that's what it
My
was.
sister was from Brazil, where this is sourced from, and she says it's copaiba.
Okay, so let's take it from the Brazil woman, all right? So this one has a lot of science that Shelly's going to explain for us. This one, if you guys seen all the talk about the endocannabinoid system, this is our buddy right here. This is not marijuana in a bottle. Let me get that clear. Not marijuana. Okay. This is not illegal drugs. It's totally legal on in the whole planet. So.
When we're done with that, talking about the oils, I'll have a fairly thorough explanation of what the heck is the cannabinoid system, why we want to know about it.
What kind of, is it plant, tree, grass?
It's a tree, and it's a resin from the tree, kind of like frankincense.
So this one is actually a blend of 4, unique blend of 4 that word right there, species. So you can see the blend of all 4 of them. Again, this is the same concept of frankincense. So our buddies are going to be frankincense and copaiba. The copaiba? Copaiba. It is the pie. Okay. Okay, so copaiba. So these are going to be our 2. When in doubt, if you have no idea what to use, if you got a serious situation going on, whatever it might be, go to those 2. I put a little of this in my mouth yesterday. Way better than frankincense. Way better. So, yeah. It's not nearly as horrible as frankincense or Melissa. Yeah, Melissa is awful.
My 10-year-old
Yeah.
did it too. He tried it last time.
So put frankincense in that together should just.
Killer. Yep. Yep.
We're going to be
Yep.
absolutely inhuman, fantastic.
Yep.
Seriously?
We are not making, Bunny, there are no claims being made here. No claims. We're not prescribing or any of that. None of that's going on here.
So you're just saying a
Disclaimer.
drop of frankincense and a drop of this papaya stuff, whatever, underneath our tongue every morning.
Sure, do it.
Do
Yeah.
it. I do it. Report back.
Yep. Yeah,
I can't do Melissa.
that's the triple threat right there. Nothing can get past those 3.
Okay.
Okay, so copaiba, liver and antioxidant support, cardiovascular health, sustain proper immune response, digestive support, support proper neurological function, which guess what that means? It can get in here. I'm going to use hand gestures, so I'm not saying words out loud. Okay, proper respiratory function helps with everything, right? Okay, you're good with this, buddy. Here's some aromatic application. You can breathe it in with your hands. Guess what's in our diffuser? Guess. Anybody? Guess.
And lime.
And Siberian fir and lime. So that's what's in our diffuser. If you can smell that. Oh, our diffuser's not on. They're like, what? Combining it with citrus to elevate the mood, that's a great one. Yep, combine with Siberian fir or a flora oil to create relaxation. So the reason that we're all hyped up in here and the reason I'm tweaking out is because this was not on. So, okay, topical application. Apply directly over the affected area diluted with fractionated coconut oil. Combine with blue tansy. So here's one that you can use together. For soothing relief to skin and minimize blemishes. Blend with a facial moisturizer and cedarwood to support the ECM. Yes. M, what's the M? Endocannabinoid. I don't know what that is, yeah. Copaiba uses internal. 2 drops in a capsule can be taken morning and evening. A blend with frankincense for increased cellular support. Add 2 drops mixed with citrus and water. I haven't tried that one yet. That'll be a good one to test.
Someone was saying that that was really good with grapefruit.
Oh, okay. Mixed with water. 1 or 2 drops under the tongue each morning, and then blend with peppermint for digestive support at mealtime. So there's some good tips for you. Okay, Shelly's turn. What is the endocannabinoid system?
Okay, I'll do just to. You want to talk about this now?
Yep.
Okay.
And we have the next slide that breaks down the 3 as well.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see.
So back 25 years ago, when I took anatomy courses, they did not teach us about the endocannabinoid, or even some people just call it the cannabinoid system. So think of it as it's very similar to learning about any other system, your cardiovascular system, neurological system, anything. They've discovered this, it's within the last 5 to 10 years that this is new, so that they do add this into our anatomy courses now, so it's really amazing. So I'm going to try to break it down. I'm not going to go into as much science as Dr. Hill did because I don't think that most people would understand that. But way back in anatomy course, they teach us that we have what's called homeostasis. So what homeostasis is that they already knew we had a system within our body that is always trying to have check reins to make things right. It's always, and I remember the first time that I took a anatomy course, I went out of there freaked out thinking, how are we not going to die? Because there's so many things that can be, everything has to be running and working perfectly. And it was scary for me, but when you learn about how the body has this homeostasis, it's always trying to make everything right. That made more sense to me, and you get more into anatomy and you feel more comfortable with it. But when you come into this endocannabinoid system, this is like the check rein of the check reins. This goes in there, and like if your body is having an overreaction to, say, a fever. So a fever is an important thing that we have to do. Our body does it so that we burn off viruses or bacteria. But there comes a point when we overwork. It overworks. Well, the endocannabinoid system starts regulating that. Okay, well, we do need to have it, but we don't need to have it quite so much. So it kind of chills everyone out that it's just so right. So in an article that I read, it was the Goldilocks theory. Oh, that bed's too hard, this bed is too soft, this one's just right. This one makes everything just right. It regulates. As far as, I learned a lot about this last year because my mom had broke her back and had this horrible nerve pain. She had to have surgery. And we searched and we got some oils that would help her. But what we did find was that pot lotion. And that worked during the day, but nothing was working at night. So that's when I started really looking into this cannabinoid system. What does it even mean? So really, in a very, very simplistic way, is what it does with your system is it kind of just turns down the volume. And what's awesome about it, I liken it to like a smartphone. So it learns from it. So if you take something that works in the cannabinoid system, and I'll explain these receptor sites here in a second. Like with your smartphone, after a while, you're like, how did it know that I wanted to do that? Our body will learn from it. So you take something that works with the cannabinoid system, say you take it the first time you take it and you got 4 hours of relief. But then you notice after you do it after 4 hours, oh my gosh, I got 8 hours of relief because it's actually teaching your body, oh, I get it. This is what we're supposed to do. So it works with homeostasis and the cannabinoid system, making everything just right, that bed that's just right.
Let me throw something in real quick.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys understand the cycle kind of with painkillers. And this might be violating a little bit here, but some of the cycle that painkillers can do is almost teach your body that you need the medication more. So by treating your endocannabinoid system, using the oils like this instead, you're doing exactly the opposite. You're teaching, like people can get off of those medications basically by using this, is what I'm saying. That was probably a violation.
But that was a great analogy there of how they are opposing. So let's go right into receptor sites. So a lot of times I explain why you even want to use oils, how they can tweak things with your receptor sites. So here's the huge bonus. So picture your cell, and then we have many receptor sites off of it. And what these receptor sites do is they send messages. And so it's constantly getting messages, changing things in your body. But it can be good or bad. So not all things that, like breathing something in that's like a toxic candle, you're sending a message to a receptor site, but it's a toxic message. So we want to change them. You want to give the message a therapeutic message to your receptor sites. So the cannabinoid system, they know for sure it's 2 of the receptor sites. Of many receptor sites on a cell, it's 2 of them. So it's on the outer part of the cell. And CB1 and CB2 are the names that they gave to them. They think that there are more than that, but right now those are the ones they have their grips on of knowing that they have. So CB1, that's the one they really found out. That's what brought about this endocannabinoid system to figure it out, was because what affects that is pot. So the THC that's in pot that causes hallucinogenic effects that's where you get your CB1 receptor. So it makes you high, but it can help you in other aspects. But that is not where we're going with ours whatsoever. So what we want to talk about is our CB2 receptor. So that's the bottom one there. It affects your endocrine system and your immune system. So remember, the turning down of the volume, this is where it is just magnificent. So you're going to get with, not just with Copaiba, there's other oils that do it. But the other oils like Melissa is fabulous. That's the one that we use for my mom's pain. That was like, it's so quick. That's what's great about the cannabinoid system, is that it's within a minute. If it's going to work, it's going to be fast. So Melissa is $135 for a 5 ml. So when you're in pain, you're ready to give your entire purse over to somebody. But I'll tell you what, I would actually now try Copaiba first to see if you can get that effect, because this is going to be, well, it's out now, so $35 on your wholesale account. That is definitely an easier place to start with that. So, and the bonus with Copaiba, you can do it all 3 ways. So you can take it internally. Looks like you have a question, Cindy.
No, I just keep talking.
Okay, so you can do it all 3 ways. You can diffuse it, you can take it internally, and you can put it on top of it. So let me see if there's anything else I want to
Do you want to address this part? I don't know if you want to talk to the strain a lot, because this could get confusing.
This is where I felt like it got too confusing for most people.
The CBD.
Yeah, CBD, that's the hallucinogenic portion of it, so that's what we're not doing. Let's just move over. Just know that the beta-carophylline, that's the one that's where we're getting affected. So the bonus with Copaiba is that it's I believe 55%, and with THC, it's only 35%. So this actually is going to affect you even more than marijuana. I think that's going to sum it up close enough. And you don't have the hallucinogens.
So this kind of shows you.
It's not going to make you high.
This shows you some of the other oils that have that same, like Shelly was saying with the Melissa. They were using the Melissa, but that only has 13%.
And that's pretty amazing, because that stuff works. My husband had some nerve pain in his hand, and we treated it for a week, and it's totally gone. And he's had this nerve pain for years.
So if you think about, if she was using Melissa with a lot of success at 13%, Copaiba then with 55%, that should be able to
better,
handle anything, really.
So what's in the deep blue? Because like they used that on his hands, that he's had pain for years and years and years. He doesn't use it anymore.
Right. So that combination,
but what is in there
that has that blue tansy, it has wintergreen in there, so it pulls the inflammation out. It's a different system.
Oh, okay. So it's not any of these types.
No. Is there health prism in deep blue? There is health prism.
Yeah, I was gonna say
But
one of
that's
those
pretty
oils
low
in
amount
there.
on there. That's more of the pulling the inflammation out of there. That's not as much as the chemical system.
Okay.
So, and truthfully, first off, I tell people to try it that way, because it's cheaper. I mean, everybody's about how much money they can spend. So try it that way first. If not, then we can go for a more expensive route.
Frankincense and copaiba oil, similar. No, I mean, frankincense not on that list. That's really my question.
Right, no. Frankincense is not in the cannabinoid system. It's not. That's a whole nother topic as far as the constituents that are in it. All the biblical oils, spikenard, myrrh, those all have the 3 top dogs as far as the sperpentines, monoterpenes, and the what is those called? It's like the trifecta of oils. They have everything in it, but it's not the cannabinoid system. It's just a different system that does wonderful things. It's just not that is not effective. Yes.
So then when you use frankincense with it, it just enhances.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Good analogy that it just pulls it all together. Somebody asked me the other day, are you going to negate properties when you put certain oils together? Absolutely not. It doesn't work that way. You don't have certain oils that are going to kill off other oils. And another property is if, say I want to do Copaiba in there, but I can't stand the smell. That's not true, but I'm just using that. I can throw other oils in there. Say I love wild orange. I can throw wild orange in there too. So I'm going to get both benefits of it, and then I'm going to liken it. It's going to smell better to me. So you're never going to negate the value of an oil.
So even with deep blue, you could add the copaiba to deep blue for added benefit there too. So.
How do you know how much to use? I mean, and how often? How do you, I mean, like with pain pills, you're, okay, every 4 hours or
Right.
every 6 hours.
Oil.
Do you do this every half hour or?
No, I usually tell people to start monitoring it. When your pain starts coming back, add some more in it. If you're going to do it with the copaiba, this one's the cool one that you can see if you can go farther out. If you're doing deep blue, typically I tell people do it in the morning and night, maybe in the middle of the day, because over time that one's going to also lessen the inflammation and get rid of it. That's the glory of all these oils, is because you're going to have this whole mountain of oils that you can try yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to try Roman chamomile today. And if that one sort of did it, then you have another, you can try the blue tansy or whatever and keep trying it. And just know that Roman chamomile may be for your sleep or something. It's not always for one specific problem. There's so many things you can try these for. Did that answer?
Oils generally, we kind of want to go opposite of like over the counters or prescriptions. So less dosage, more frequently, but also, and let's take that in terms of, say you're getting a sickness of some sort, you're feeling sick. I say every hour. Do this every hour. On day 2, do it every 2 to 3 hours. Day 3, every 4 hours. See how you're stretching it out. Day 2, you're probably feeling better anyway, but keep on it just to make sure that it doesn't creep back up on you. Now with this, I know Wendy Lou's shoulder with the deep blue. He was going to need shoulder surgery. Use deep blue twice a day?
No, we just used it at night.
At night, and then
no, I tell everybody it's 2 times a day. It's only once a day.
And then Bunny's husband. So see how over time they're using it and it's decreasing their need for it.
Yeah, that's what I was. Because Kathy was talking about, she's shared it with people, and they use it one time, like, this doesn't work. I think it's back to what Shelly was talking about. You're teaching your body to re-heal itself or to redo whatever.
Right.
So it does. After a while, I mean, it was 4 to 6 weeks, and now he doesn't have a problem.
Yeah, I always tell people stay consistent, because the more you use it, you're going to see the benefit. The more you get the oils in general into your body, the better the oils will respond to your body as well. The more you give, like the Lifelong Vitality Pack, being on the vitamins, I noticed just by implementing that vitamin pack, the oils reacted with my body way better than they did prior to using the vitamin pack. So you kind of see how it's all, I don't know if this is making sense, but it all kind of works together. It all.
Yeah, the name of the game is get inflammation out.
Right.
Get inflammation out.
Michelle?
I remember Dr. Hill saying that you can't overuse these oils. There's no way to become addicted to them.
Right.
With prescriptions.
Right.
But I was interested to know that I thought once you use the deep blue for a while, the pain goes away, you stop using it. But he said use it every single day, whether you feel bad or not, all of the time.
Yeah, that was kind of when he was going into more of his daily protocol of like for when you're looking at the wellness pyramid, eating right, exercise, sleep and stress management, all of that. These are the building blocks of how to be well. So just implementing the vitamin pack on top of eating is only going to complement if you're eating well, supplementing with your vitamin pack as well, because we don't get all the vitamins that we need out of our foods these days. So even if we're eating pure and organic diets. So then with exercise, it's almost like a preventative or preventative thing. Yeah. So say you are used to getting shin splints or something like that. By implementing the deep blue on a daily basis, you're getting that. And really, you don't have to over time. You know what I mean? It's not like a stick to it. He's just giving kind of an example of a daily protocol, what he would do to address all those little areas of that pyramid. Does that make sense? Okay.
Okay, I'm going to do a quick raffle. 6083. 6083. 6083. And what I'm giving away is a passion lotion.
Okay, we're gonna.
Every single day since he said that, and actually do feel better.
Okay. Well, so there you go.
Didn't feel so bad. So
You didn't even realize you were feeling bad. Yeah.
Maybe I should do 2. We'll do the other passion lotion too. Pick one out real quick.
Sorry. 058.
There we go. There you go.
Okay, so we're gonna move into Siberian fir and white fir. So as we mentioned before, white fir is bye-bye. We don't have it anymore. It's no longer even in the back office. So if you have any of that at home, be stingy with it. Siberian fir is going to, do I have that chart? Let's roll into this. So it has a more prominent chemistry than white fir. So it's going to be very similar, but more prominent in the areas that we want it in. So really, this is an okay trade. This is not going to wreck our lives. This is an okay swap out. It has the more prominent chemistry. The research demonstrates that Siberian fir can positively affect many body systems. We'll get into that here. Recommended for aromatic, topical, and internal use. So this kind of gives you a comparison. Now these I'm not going to really be able to speak to because the science goes right over my head. But basically what Siberian fir has over there versus what white fir has over here, we're getting more benefit because of that than this.
Just think of those are ingredients, like a recipe. Those are ingredients, and look how much more we get in Siberian fir. That's
Right.
as simple as you can get it. Just know
Right.
there's more yellow than purple.
Right.
And I'm an Eden is always the
And
piney
You
is-
get them in there.
Yeah.
You're not gonna miss that.
Yeah. And it's not like they're lacking those. It just is a decreased number over there. But look how little these numbers are compared to these. So
They really go to lengths to make you
yeah.
feel okay with this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, people really like the white fir.
Well,
Yeah.
my daughter was scanned for white furs, so.
Oh, we'll scan her again.
no,
Yeah.
but it covers the same emotions.
Yeah.
Did you just say that?
Yeah, if you read,
It's
actually, if you
exactly
read
the
the
same, so
emotional
that's the
side of both of them in the emotions book, yes, very, very, very
Yeah,
similar.
that's very sad. I love white fur.
Yeah,
So I'm going to just put on a bigger piece. and be
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
Is this pretty cheap? Is this $20?
Yes.
yes.
Oh, great Christmas candles, right here, ladies, because it smells like Christmas.
Right here, ladies.
And they're non-toxic candles, right here.
Okay, so this kind of gives you some different pinpoints of what some of the chemical constituents will address different body systems, different needs. Oh, I'm not plugged in. Hold on, I'm gonna die. My computer is, not me. Oh.
Yeah. But in terms of that, you don't have to do all that.
Uh-oh, come on now. The library girl's like, don't touch anything. I don't even know how I got it to work. Don't touch it.
Okay, we're good.
Okay, I'm back. All right, so Siberian for aromatic and topical and internal uses. So here's just some examples. Evoke feelings of relaxation and rest. Inhale to soothe the dry airways. So again, white fir was great for air respiratory function, so Siberian fir is as well. Soothing to skin irritations. Apply to calm overactive tissues and ease discomfort. Your favorite terms, overactive tissues. And support body systems in general, 1 to 3 capsules internally. Whew. Okay, so whenever you see this little application banner, this is always Dr. Hill's little tips on how to actually use it. So here's a couple of his personal recommendations. Combining with rosemary, eucalyptus, cypress, or limes, all great respiratory oils as well. So yeah, lime and white fir, I used to use those two combination together. So this will be fine. Siberian fir as a replacement. Blend with tea tree, cedarwood, or flower oils to help eliminate blemishes and support healthy skin. And then, of course, adding it with citrus oils for the surface cleaning. I skipped that. Okay.
Oh, real quick, Douglas fir kind of makes up for the stuff that white fir,
Ooh, that's a good point.
like what Siberian fir, well, let's see if I can say it right. Whatever Siberian fir is missing, Douglas fir will make up for. So
Right.
if you use the two together, then that is all.
Then don't worry about
awesome.
being rid of white fir. Yeah.
Right, so, yeah, the two firs.
Yeah. So Jasmine.
What was that one on the slide before that it said tea tree?
That's
Oh,
Melaleuca.
Melaleuca.
Oh.
Yep. Tea tree and Melaleuca are the same thing, just different names for them. Yeah. I don't know why he put tea tree on there actually. That's weird. Because ours is called Melaleuca. Dr. Hill couldn't remember how to say Melaleuca? So jasmine, okay, for those of you who don't know, jasmine and rose has never been available to purchase. If you were to buy a 5 milliliter of jasmine, it would be around $266 for the bottle. Rose is almost $566. But yeah, so they are unbuyable. You cannot buy them. The only way we've gotten our hands on them in the past is by winning them through promotions. And that's those of us that share the oils, we enroll a certain amount of people and you can win them that way. So now we have them in touch. I'm going to just talk about kind of both of them because they're sisters and they like to hang out together. So Jasmine Touch, what the Touch series is, all the emotional oils, the emotional aromatherapy oils, and then every oil from the Family Essentials kit minus lemon, all come in a touch as well. So touch means in a roller ball, easy to apply roller ball, and mixed with fractionated coconut oil. So these are great. I keep all these touch series in my diaper bag, in my purse. These are great for just rubbing on for your perfume for the day or just while you're out and about. My kiddos can actually use them too. Even the oregano is super hot. You don't ever want to touch that. My kids will touch the roller ball and the oregano, totally fine. So they're diluted appropriately. A couple years ago at convention that we had a big presentation on appropriate ratios with dilution. And doTERRA has appropriately diluted these. Some of the hotter oils are diluted a little bit more. These are most likely diluted a little bit more as well because they are so expensive. But you still get the same benefits. And again, we'll talk more about dilution and why you even want to dilute anyway, because it's actually a huge benefit. So, did we pass it?
Is jasmine an actual oil or is it absolute?
It's an absolute. Good question. Yes. Yes. Does anybody know how to explain an absolute? I was going to go over that and I forgot.
Rebecca, I think a good thing to mention too is they can't go in the diffuser because.
Oh, these, right.
Yeah, because
right.
they
Yeah, you don't want to put any of the blends that have coconut oil in them in the diffuser because that coconut oil will plug up the diffuser. These would be hard anyway to pop the tops off of these. You can do it. You can weasel them off, but yeah, just remember to avoid putting these ones in the diffuser.
So the absolute, pretty much what they do is they take the petals and the petals have a wax on them. And they get the wax off of the petals and then they get the oil from the wax, which makes it an absolute.
They have to use some kind of chemical reaction to strip that wax, is that right?
Yeah, I don't think they use I don't know if they said, but
chemical loosely.
Yeah, something to get the wax.
If it's they said if it was steam distilled with the wax on, it would basically become like concrete. Absolutes are more concentrated than EOs, so that's too a lot why the benefit of having it diluted. I don't know if that really explains. I don't know. Does anybody know what they do? I didn't do notes on that one. How they get the absolute?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well,
we missed it.
Yeah,
but what it is, what the process is.
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
I just love jasmine.
Oh,
It's just amazing.
I love jasmine, yeah. So it's uplifting to the mood. It reduces the appearance of skin imperfections, promotes a healthy looking, glowing complexion. So those of you who don't know, the little jar of face cream, it's called hydrating cream, has jasmine in it. So you might be tempted to take a lick when you're smearing it on. Don't do that. I love my night routine. I'm just like.
So you actually rub it on your face? Just
Even in the bottle, you mean? Or yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Rub it anywhere you want, Wendy.
Well, isn't this the one you're supposed to take in the bedroom?
No.
Oh, you roll it. Yeah, we'll get.
I didn't mean to bust that bubble yet.
Jasmine in the bedroom.
Okay.
Oh, you'll find too that your man might be a little bit more attracted to you when you have jasmine on. So just keep that in mind. Yeah.
Sorry, I was.
So it takes, this will explain why we haven't had it in the past. It takes 21,000 petals to produce a 5 milliliter bottle of jasmine. So yeah, 1.5 days worth of work for a collector. So this explains why it isn't highly available for purchase in the full undiluted bottles.
Is this the one they go out for early in the morning? Yeah. Yes. They actually have to get it before the sun comes up because they said that once the sun hits the petals, the oil evaporates.
Mm-hmm. There's this real specific harvest time. We kind of touched on this. Helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels. Jasmine massaging during labor and menstrual cycles may offer physiological measures of relaxation. So Rose Touch Sister Oil, again, same thing, mixed with coconut oil, easy to apply rollerball. Emotionally uplifting, helps balance moisture levels of the skin, reduces the appearance of skin imperfections, and supports a healthy immune response. So we have a good story that Miss Emily Wright told us. We'll get to that in a minute. Oh, wait. Does anybody know how many petals, how many roses it takes to distill a 5 milliliter bottle of rose?
8,000.
How many petals?
You were at convention. Yeah, how many petals? Let's do that one.
To make,
90,000.
90 million.
What was that?
Oh, yeah.
240 petals.
That explains the price.
Yeah, that explains the price. So it has a unique chemistry with a staying power. doTERRA's rose contains a combined average concentration of 25 to 35% alkanes, right? These are odorless molecules. This is the highest known concentration of alkenes in the essential oil. Other essential oils contain less than 1%. The alcohols, which you can see some other words that are hard to pronounce there, are the major aroma contributing molecules. All right. I am not good at scientific words.
How does this affect
Allergies?
Yeah,
Like if someone's allergic to rose, is that where you're going?
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's the thing with allergies. A lot of times people will say, I'm allergic to that smell. That can be that they're allergic to the synthetic. So like plugins, candles, lotions will have a synthetic form of it. Normal rose stuff, I can't handle it. I can't handle it at all. But this oil I can handle. So you can tell what's pure and what's not. If it's a legit allergy, like if they take a rose and smear it on them and they break out or anaphylactic shock or whatever, then yes, steer clear of the oil because that's something, legitimate.
There is a good chance that they're not going to be allergic to it because what they explained is that it is lacking a protein, then it's less likely to cause the histamine reaction.
So it was on that. So I'm allergic to vinaigrette.
Yeah.
I'm very high on vinaigrette. I use vinaigrette all the time.
Okay, so there's,
Yes.
Right. There is that, but I don't always recommend people that say they're allergic to something to try it. Like that's in your own, do that when you're around your doctor just in case or something. No, just kidding. I don't freely just recommend that kind of information, but yes, that science behind it and that, there you go. There's an example right there. So.
I want it. Sorry. Yeah.
So some of the benefits, rose helps body to naturally release the desire for pain medication. So think of what we were talking about earlier, how your body kind of craves the pain medication. You get dependent on it. Even using the Copaiba together with the rose would be great to try to get off of that system, out of that kind of cycle. May support healthy, rejuvenated nerves. So again, that kind of makes sense and ties into it. Apply rose oil morning, noon, and night to support healthy brain activity for children. Healthy immune system. And then we have a story from Emily Wright. Does anyone want to share that?
I will.
Okay.
The one with her daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how much I can actually say since we're recording, but I'll try to speak in between the lines.
Well, let's kind of say it how she did, because she was compliant.
Yeah, but I remember how I.
Oh.
Yeah, you heard it. Correct me how I changed it in my brain. So her daughter, they were playing on one of those bouncy houses with their cousins, and slides and stuff, those rubber blow-up things. And so they were getting ready to go on vacation the next day or something. My timeline may be off here. And her daughter broke out with these like boil hive awfulness, and something similar to this had happened in their family before. Emily teared up. This could be like threatening. This is really bad. So read between the lines what that could be. Something that could take you out. When this isn't recording, I can tell you what I think it is. And so she grabbed the rose. Before we always said if you don't know what to do frankincense. Now I'm different. Now that we have Rose, if you can get your hands on Rose and you really want the big gun, Rose is the one that you want to go to. So she put Rose on her, and she put Melaleuca, tea tree oil, on her. And
Occasionally
That's
cilantro. Yep.
right, the cilantro. And it cleared up. So then she found out the cousins also got this rash of sores.
So this is something where the doctor said you can put her on this medication, and the medication alone may change her life, basically, and she may not make it through it. Or you can stick with what you know, and she actually gave the choice to her daughter, and her daughter said, let's go with what we know and trust. So yes, then the cousins.
Yep, so the cousins came down with it too. She did the same oil protocol with them, and it absolutely worked also.
So no medication for this.
Immediately?
Within days. Yeah.
So it was rose and cilantro and what was the other one?
Melaleuca.
And then she also did the On Guard Plus gel.
The soft gels internally. Yep. Yep.
One more quick question.
Yeah.
May support healthy rejuvenated nerves. Can that work for people who have the nerve pain in their legs?
Possibly, we talked about that. Wasn't it you and I that talked about that? I would definitely try that. Okay.
My brother has some of that.
Yeah. But also, with somebody that's doing something like that, you kind of got to go backwards and figure out why they have it in the first place. So if they have neuropathy, then let's deal with what's causing the neuropathy, because you can't just keep pasting things on it. You got to figure, let's figure out. Okay.
Neroli. So this is our other touch oil. Again, I randomly sing songs about things, so enjoy it while you can. Neroli, so this one again is mixed with coconut oil. This is the one like Wendy was mentioning earlier. It probably doesn't give that. No, it doesn't give that as a positive property. Promotes a positive mood, helps reduce feelings of anxiousness, soothes skin, and encourages relaxation.
This is the more than to take in the bedroom.
This is more than taking
I'm gonna say that one, it's kind of like blister. So when you put it on, it smells. And you just like that, but if you put it on,
It's gonna smell different.
Really?
It will still change. Because I put it on at first and I was like, oh, I'm not sure. And then after like 10 minutes, I could smell it like it was like a flower. Like it smelled really good.
Yeah.
It's made from a petal also, right?
Yes. So you can see here, neroli is made from this. Petitgreen oil actually comes from the leaf, and then bitter orange oil comes from the actual fruit. So this is we get triple oils out of it. Yeah, out of this one plant.
Yeah.
So.
And it smells like free meat.
What?
We think it smells like free meat.
Oh my gosh, now that's all I smell.
Well, let me give it 2 minutes to see like changing.
Yeah, rub it on you, it'll smell different. So linalool.
Linalool is cool.
You talk about linalool. Can you?
Maybe.
So here, look at this little chart.
Well, so some data suggests that linalool directly interacts with the N-methyl aspartame.
The NMDA receptor.
Yeah, so this is it's a complex and critical synaptic.
I know.
This is just that's like it's hard, yeah.
Tough word.
Plasticity.
Mechanism of learning and memory. So linalool.
I'm not good at explaining what linalool is, so I'm gonna let these girls do it. Shelly, you got linalool?
I think the easiest way to say is the way that linalool, it affects the receptor site that helps with the mechanism of learning and memory. So just think of the cells, and it has the receptor site, and that's where it hooks in there. So that's just one of the things. Linalool is, okay, I'm not gonna say.
Well, so it brings on, it's relaxing, and so it will help with, like lavender. Lavender has a lot of linalool, so that's how people know that it's relaxing.
With memory.
Yeah, because on the last slide, that's what it said.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting happy with you.
Rub some of that on the back of your neck. Okay. Any questions about neroli or jasmine, rose, any of that? Nope. Okay.
Dementia? Would that help with dementia?
I think it could. I would use frankincense, I think, first. Yeah? Yeah.
And generally, it's good.
And the what?
The nard.
The nard, the
Because
spike nard.
Mary used it in her hair on Jesus' feet.
Yes.
That means it's good enough for her home.
Because any oil that's good enough for Jesus is good enough for us. So neroli, optimizing cellular health, may regulate healthy cell production, regulate mTOR, an important regulator of cell death. So that's the turnover, the cycle of cells, can be used by women for targeted cellular support. I love all these vague terms. Yeah.
That's a, postpartum
Yeah.
depression is where it was targeted in prevention. I know that was really.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is it saying that it works in a similar method to GABA, or is it saying that it's working the opposite of GABA?
I think it's
increasing your GABA response.
there. So that's in conjunction with. It's yes.
Yeah.
She said it's increasing your GABA responders. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. Oh. Okay, neroli uses supports a smooth transition through stages of life by improving hormone concentrations. So you can kind of see where that's going. Transition encourages feelings of intimacy. Shown to promote a healthy inflammatory response during the late stages of pregnancy. Supports healthy intestinal inflammatory response. Reduce stress and anxious feelings. So, I mean, this is another bang for your buck, right? So combine your rose and neroli together, stimulate feelings of happiness and contentment after childbirth. So this is where we're talking about that postpartum. Violated. Wild orange, on to wild orange. So nothing huge about wild orange. It's just we have a new farmer, basically. New farm. It's in Brazil. Who loves wild orange? Woo! Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about germs now because we have, I'm not going to pull that out. Let's do a high five, though. Look at all these germs we're passing back and forth. So for those of you who don't know, Rob Young is our product development guy, and he always does some really great videos every year at convention, really funny ones about some of the new products that came out. So I wish we could have pulled this one up, but we don't have it. Anyway, he did one where he's sneezing and coughing on his hands, high-fiving. He wiped some pigeon poop off with his hand off the table before he sat down for lunch. So good stuff, because this is a segue into our next product. So our normal daily routines accumulate germs, and those germs live on our hands for some time unless we clean them. We all know this, right? Disease prevention, hand washing, single most important thing you can do to prevent infections and spread of disease. So kids, 164 million school days are missed each year due to illness with kids. The problem is people aren't washing their hands as often as they say they are or as often as they should. How many of you walked out of the bathroom, the ladies' room, and you're in the stall going to the bathroom and you hear your neighbor come out of the stall and go right out the door? Does that just heave you out? Oh, I get so disgusted. So the solution, oh yeah, they did this whole thing. How many of you flush your toilet like this? Yeah, don't touch that thing. It's gross. Or the fist bump. Yep, the solution. Do we just like stay away from each other? No. Guess what our solution is? On guard hand sanitizing. So yeah, we have this now. I do. So this is a great new product that they implemented. It's got a moisturizing formula. It has the On Guard essential oil in it, antiseptic properties, and it's a convenient on-the-go spray bottle. So they actually pulled this puppy out for us a couple years ago at Leadership Retreat. For those that don't know, Leadership Retreat is for silver rank and above, and a lot of times they'll have us test and sample some new products that they're working on implementing. So we saw this guy a couple years ago. I actually still have my bottle of it. Yeah, I think it's in my. Yeah, it's in here somewhere. Yep, right here. This guy right here. This was our sample one. So it's all worn and used. Do you like how all my?
I just like how you popped up.
Yeah. I'm here to entertain you all, okay? So yeah, so we've been looking for this. We've actually been waiting like a couple of years. We kept thinking it was going to come out, so we were dying when this came out. So yeah, super easy to use. Look at the price, guys. Look at the price on this. Okay. So on the go sanitizing mist, convenient when you need it, before, during, and after preparing food. Okay, this is not just for your hands. Spray this puppy on your keyboard at work, on your steering wheel, on your tabletop before you eat at a restaurant. Wherever you want to spray it, you spray it. Yep, spray the air. Before and after caring for someone who is sick, before and after eating, after treating a cut or a wound, after using the bathroom, changing diapers, cleaning up a child who has used the bathroom, after blowing your nose, coughing, sneezing, or touching an animal food or treats, animal cages or animal waste, or after touching garbage. So, really, when can you not use this? Oh, I'm going to hold off. Okay, any questions on this guy?
Do you have your excitement? Give away. Have you spray it?
In your mouth?
Yeah.
I don't think you have to.
There is a form of alcohol in here. I don't know how to explain this one, but it's one that flashes off.
Yeah.
But that's not one that you probably want to spray in your mouth.
Just a On Guard beadlet. Yeah, if you want to.
Do On Guard beadlet, or I've known people too who make their own little On Guard and like distilled water, and then you can.
Yeah, it's like kind of, you could do that as a mouthwash.
Yep. Mouthwash, throat spray when you have that sore throat thing. Yeah.
Okay, we're giving away a guide. Now this does have the new oils in it. Shampoo and conditioner.
You could
and
probably.
Shawna made these amazing diffuser rings. So you can
You might just go with the plain one and some coconut oil instead, though. The plain. I would stick to more. Yeah. Or another cleansing oil.
It's this one. 091. There we go.
Rebecca, real quick,
Yeah.
do we have access to the presentation of the discussion about On Guard and how it kills all these germs that Lysol and
If you, yeah.
You want me to stand for that one? Since they
I just want the presentation. to
Well,
show.
if you Google it, I bet you will find some, because a lot of people are posting their clips that they've of the presentations that they've recorded. So just like that one that we got about what happened in the last year. So you might find that actual presentation. We for sure have the slides on it if you want that. But as far as what they said in the whole presentation, I bet if you Google it.
You do have the slides.
We do have the
I
slides.
like that. The slides. That's all I want, the slides.
Okay. Yes, speak to that, Brenda.
So at the medical symposium, there was a microbiologist that was there who is actually in Fort Collins, working on a second PhD. She did an entire research on Guard, the On Guard concentrate that you can buy. On Guard concentrate, 2 tablespoons in a 2-cup spray bottle. What they find is on our counter surfaces, we have staph, we have strep, we have all those other bad chemicals, bad viruses and bugs. And so she, on the surfaces, sprayed the On Guard. Normally, if you wipe stuff off, you'll wipe the spores off. She didn't want to wipe them off. She wanted to see what the On Guard did. So she sprayed them all, and within 24 hours, all spores were dead. Now, what happens with these spores?
That's this thing.
Yeah.
Spray it.
Yeah. So
And leave it.
What happens with these spores is once they get reacted to oxygen and other little particles, they will come back to life.
Reactivate, yeah.
Reactivate. After 72 hours, no reactivation. So your On Guard concentrate, if you don't have On Guard concentrate, it is not very expensive to mix with water and use as a sprayer for all-purpose cleaning.
Yeah, but
So the point is that they also did a study with Lysol and Clorox, and I saw a different study done with Petri dishes in a 5th grade science project. They infected the Petri dishes with chicken poop from their chicken thing. They sprayed Lysol spray, Clorox spray, and On Guard spray. The Clorox spray had less than 24-hour kill time and still had lots of growth. The Lysol spray did better, but by far the one that did the best was the On Guard spray. Most all of the growth was gone in that Petri dish. So
prevents it from regrowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're just supposed to spray it, not wipe it.
Well, you can wipe it. But she didn't want to do that because she didn't want the wipe away. She wanted to see if it would actually kill the ants.
The On Guard concentrate that you can buy is awesome too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you get
That's what I use.
that's what I used to use, a whole bottle of it. What is it, like 60, do you remember, or 86? something
How
like
many
that?
ounces or?
Well, no, how many bottles you
Oh.
in the future will last
Yeah.
forever. Because you only use 2 tablespoons of it in a spray bottle to clean your surfaces. So then it's already made up. And you're just making it. So I have more than all my companies.
Make sure you're using glass, not plastic bottles.
Yeah, use a glass. You're right.
What's the concentration?
It'll
say on the bottle.
Too, but I believe, I use the strongest, so I use 2 tablespoons. They have another one if you're not doing something dirty. I make them all. We're dirty.
Okay. Yoga collection. So this is really cool. So we heard from, I don't remember her name, a really cool woman who, what was her name? Help, back up. I don't know. She teaches yoga. She's a yoga instructor. She helped to kind of develop this and implement it. And so this is a cool little, they actually threw this in last minute. So you will not see these blends in this book at all. So you'll be able to read the product information page once they come out. Side note, all these products are available October 2nd, minus Copaiba and Siberian Fir, which just came out yesterday. So you can now order these 2. The rest of them you'll be able to order October 2nd, October 10-2.
And you don't have to
Elena
do
Brown.
yoga to use.
You don't have to use, you don't have to do yoga to use these. This is a great little trio. So it comes with Anchor, Align, and Arise. So Anchor for your feet. Think of a tree.
Oh, the first one, I'm doing
Anchor. Yep. So supports effective yoga practice, promotes feelings of completeness, calmness, and courage. Encourages a steady foundation from which to move forward. So when you think of anchoring, you're a tree anchoring into the ground. This is a great one for your base, even for your tailbone. This has really helped to ground you and anchor you. So this one is made up of lavender, cedarwood, frankincense, cinnamon bark, sandalwood, black pepper, and patchouli. Our dirty Boulder hippie oil. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't offend anyone. That just came out. Where's my filter? I actually love patchouli. Ironically, I can't stand the incense smell of patchouli, but the oil I actually love. So the next one is Align. This one will be coming around. Supports effective yoga practice, promotes feelings of self-acceptance, trust, and fluidity. Encourages harmony and calm progress. So Align, spine. Think of your spine, right? You're grounded with your tree. Your spine is your center. Yep. So this one is made up of bergamot, coriander, marjoram, peppermint, geranium, basil, and rose and jasmine, our sister flowers. I don't know if you all noticed too, but the labels on this are shiny. This gets my little kitten going, my shiny metal object.
No, she did not. She did not say kitten.
I said this kind of kitten.
I was at least a little more discreet than that.
Okay, Arise. Arise is for the head. What oil class did you all think you were coming to today? So Arise supports effective yoga practice, promotes feelings of happiness, clarity, and courage, encourages rising to achieve goals and improved performance. So you got a difficult task at work, diffuse this puppy. So again, you don't have to use these only for yoga. These are just amazing oil. The aromas on these are awesome. So, and lots of great benefits. Plus it comes in this adorable little box with the shiny little labels, and inside the box it says, the body achieves what the mind believes. I got a winner back there. She's like, ooh, I need that. Yes. It's in here. Let me look. Yeah, I want to say 60. Oh, wait. Oh, man. They're
$52 for all 3 of them. I gotta believe that I'm reading it wrong, but I
They're
read it.
52 each.
Well, it has the same product number. What?
Oh, that's why it says that. Yep, 52 for the set. You're right. You're right.
I don't know how that's
Yeah.
possible.
They were listed as 52 each.
So when it comes
It's
out
only
to
5
$2,
mils though.
I fantastic deal with that.
They want people to buy it.
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
they gonna sell them individually now?
We don't, not yet, but I bet you they will, because any kit that they piece together, they normally end up later releasing it where you can buy them individually. Because you might use one way more than the others, so why would you want to keep buying the kit? Anything? Yeah. So, Arise, yes, thank you. Next slide. Arise has lemon, grapefruit, Siberian for osmanthus, and Melissa. So yeah, there's expensive oils in all of these. So these are really good blends.
So, like that osmanthus?
Yes.
That's not one I've ever heard before.
Nope.
How does that, I mean, obviously they want to have all those oils to make a blend,
Right.
but they don't, can they not?
They
get
don't
enough
bottle-
of it
yeah.
to-
That's generally what it is. Yeah. Just like, what was it? There was one oil that they didn't have enough of, but it was in a blend. So they kept enough. They were able to produce enough just to make that blend still, but not sell the single oil. And I don't remember what that oil was. Do you remember? Anybody? Oh, it was Melissa.
It was Melissa.
Yes, yes, it was Melissa. Thank you, Kim. Yeah. Ticket.
Ticket.
Oh.
072. What? 072.
So, yep, here's our product value 52, our PV is 50, wholesale price 52.
That's a great. So
Yes.
why is the birch only a convention? They just can't make enough of it?
Right, right. Yeah. So you can get that every year with the convention kit. Every year so far we've had it, but yeah, all this.
Let's do this.
All this.
Let's do.
Dude, get some of these out too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting to the really good stuff. Cheer and the new book.
And my daughter just opened the cheer. She did not use any, but she found the bottle and
So
twisted it. So it looks
extra good. She
opened.
loves
I apologize.
Are you ready? 107.
Ooh. Okay, let's keep rolling. Let's talk about our buddy Lumo. This is our new diffuser. So this one runs for, runs for up to 10 hours in 5-minute intervals. So 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off. You can run it for 10 hours. You can run it for 5 hours straight or 1 hour. You can do rotating colors, like, are you doing rotating?
No, I think it's just staying.
There's a light switch. Here we go.
Oh, there you go.
Rotate. You can rotate through the colors. You can turn the light off, or you can, if you like the blue, you hit it again and it'll stay on blue. Does that make sense?
Is it automatic? Like you could set it to do 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off?
Yes, there's a 10-hour setting. This one is 10 hours, and underneath it says 5. So if you just hit missed, if you hit missed, it goes from 1 hour, 5 hours to the 10, and when it's on the 10, then it just stays there, and then they all automatically shut off when they're out of water. So
101.
101.
Gets a peppermint.
whoop, there we go.
Yay, you get a new book. This was a bag I got at the swag shop.
Reusable shopping bag. Okay, so this guy is $40 and $70 wholesale. So he's a little bit less than, I call him a he because Lumo just sounds like a boy. A little bit less than the she version, Aromalite. I might be losing my mind. I've had too many oils. So how potent is a drop of oil? We're going to talk a little bit about dilution right here, real quick. So all of the molecules inside of a, I just realized that I typed wow at the top. I was up till 2:30 last night putting this together, so that might have been my delirium kicking in. Okay, if all the molecules inside of a single drop of grapefruit oil were evenly shared among all of the cells in your body, each cell would receive about 6.1 million molecules. 1 drop of oil. So that tells you how potent it is. So dilution. We want to look at no dilution and with fractionated coconut oil. When you put an oil on your skin topically, it will, this is what we call the flash off. So it will actually seep into the air quickly. By using it with fractionated coconut oil, it will help it to stay on your skin and to absorb quicker. So I had heard, I had heard that using coconut oil helps it to drive into your skin. That's what I heard many years ago. this explanation, it was like light bulb. Now I totally get it. I totally understand why they were saying that. Yes, go ahead.
So are you saying that the coconut oil on your skin, then the oil, or are you saying the
Mix it with the essential oil, yeah, and then put it on. And you can still use your oils neat, if you neat meaning directly on the skin, if you like. There's certain ones that I put on neat, but the more that I learn about dilution and just incorporating it with other oils, I just kind of dilute everything anymore. So,
How much do you dilute it?
oh, we have dilution charts, actually, if you want that. So it will say how many drops per how many drop of oil, like how many drops of coconut oil versus the actual oil, depending on what percentage of dilution you want. I eyeball it most of the time. I'll put like a drop or two of the regular oil and like 2 or 3, maybe 4 of coconut oil. So I have no scientific method with my madness, but but yeah, if you want to get really specific, there's charts that we can get to you. Is that good? Yeah. Go ahead.
Deep blue, past tense, and claricon.
That are in the roller balls already?
Yeah.
There is a little bit of coconut oil in some of those. Yeah,
Deep blue touch is
the deep blue
diluted
touch.
more.
Yeah, this
There's a
one.
regular deep blue that's not as much diluted.
There's
I do massage, so I always add to keep, because I want it all going in the person's body. So I put it on, I put the coconut oil on, I put the oil on, and then I add a little bit more on top of it.
So it totally soaked in.
Like putting it on their spine and the feet. Yep.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you.
Yeah, so even if you roll it on with the roller ball, you can add coconut oil on top of that if you want to. So yeah, are you thinking like, how in the world am I going to put a drop of a roller ball in my hand? Yeah, I see where you're going. Yeah. Okay. So dilution with the massage, when you massage it in, it stimulates the dilation of the blood vessels, resulting in improved skin absorption and volatile compounds. So really, but the way Shelly applies them in her massages, I mean, you're getting it good. You're getting it good in there. So massaging it just like they show on the baby feet. Rub the feet a little bit more. If you put oils on your feet, rub it. If you're putting it on your belly, rub your belly a little bit. Your belly needs some love. Rub it around.
Yeah, that's your core. That's where you want the inflammation to get out. Pam has a question.
Yes.
I have a question about, I seen grapefruit and blood pressure, you're not supposed to have grapefruit. Is oil in that same?
It is not. It has a different chemical composition. So usually the chemical reaction is with the fruit itself. And our grapefruit oil is made from the rind of the grapefruit. So it has a completely different, it doesn't have the protein.
Yeah, the protein. Good, good. Okay, carrier oils. Are all carrier fatty oils created equal? So you can see here, large molecule carrier oils are greasy and do not absorb well. Small molecule carrier oils absorb too quickly and do not prevent or trap essential oil molecules. Medium chain triglycerides of fractionated coconut oil absorb well and protect essential oil molecules from evaporating. So this is really why we encourage you to use fractionated coconut oil. And even just grabbing your regular coconut oil in worst case, you know what I mean? But don't grab your vegetable oil or canola that might be sitting around. Yeah, I love the faces. They're all like. Okay, we're going to talk a little about lifelong vitality. This was a big topic. It's a lot to cover. I need you ladies to help me because I don't have all my pages here. But I thought what they really showed about the Lifelong Vitality Pack this year was great. It helps to explain a little bit more about why we need to take it and all of what was in it. So the presentation was actually done by an ER doc. So he did a really great job. What was his name? Hold on, I have it. Date.
051 051. It's the cinnamon.
Oh, 051?
Is that you?
Oh, what was his name? You guys, the beard man, where was he? I want to give you his name because there.
you
go. Levernes.
Levernes, board certified ER physician.
Yeah, so you can.
His wife Katie are wellness advocates.
Yes. So you can Google his name, and you might be able to find the whole teaching video on this, which will be a lot better than our shortened down term here. So we're going to talk quick about Microplex VMZ. So for those of you who don't know, the Lifelong Vitality Pack are those 3 bottles, all come in one single vitamin pack. VMZ, I have to look at the letters. VMZ is your vitamin and mineral. So the whole thing about the VMZ, we're talking about balance, right? I took that slide out. So like by mega dosing, how many of you have taken those packets of vitamins before where it's a packet with a whole bunch of vitamins in it? You take it like once in the morning, once at night. That's what we call mega dosing. Our bodies don't necessarily love mega dosing. So, and they don't even absorb half the nutrients anyway. Are you ready to chat on this? Because I could use some help.
I don't have a lot on the
Okay, so was Shelly going to talk about this one? Were you going to talk about vitamins? Oh, we dropped the ball on who was going to talk about vitamins.
Talk a whole lot about it because there's so much information.
Yeah, so
more is basically not better.
Correct.
More is not better. You need the balance.
Yeah, you want the optimal nutrition is the cellular nutrition optimal. So optimal nutrition at the cellular level leads to optimal function of your essential biology, basically. So really it's the importance of right ratios, which is what they did a lot of research on when they formulated the Microplex VMZ, the whole vitamin pack actually.
One thing I would like to say with that, I've had other people say, well, my vitamin has way more of anything. This, I know you have visual up here, but what Dr. Hill really wants us to know is that super powering, throwing all these vitamins in there does not give you a well-rounded. Too many vitamins, too many minerals is not always the best for you. So he gives you an exact amount that he feels is appropriate. Too much can actually be detrimental. Your body doesn't hear things like with calcium. If you have too much calcium, your body is pretty smart and says, they have too much calcium, maybe I need to pull calcium from the bones. So doTERRA does not believe in mega dosing in the vitamins.
Was it last year convention or the year before where they did a big talk showing us what your body will actually absorb, like in the mega dosing, how you're not getting hardly anything in the one a day type of supplements, and then kind of where they decided to put the line on what would be adequate for the VMZ. So there was a lot of research behind all of this. XE omega. So the thing with omegas is there's a balance. Again, balance. There's a balance, right? So omega-6s are easily found. You can get those in a lot of the foods that you eat. Omega-3s, not so much. So really our ratio between the two, no, I took a lot of the slides out on this one just to simplify it, but the ratio between the two is the key. So that's really what they focus on with the XE omega here, because taking into consideration you're going to get a lot more 6 into your diet just generally, and a lot of the foods that we eat anyway. Adding in the 3. Do you have something to say?
So if you're just eating, you're going to get about a 15-to-1 ratio just from your food. Whereas if you're ideally, by balancing with this, you're going to get more of a 1-to-1 ratio.
And a lot of, I'm not going to explain this right, but the way, by having that ratio off a little, sometimes it leads to impaired utilization of the omega-3. So if your ratio is not balanced, it almost is, like Shelly said about the other one, detrimental. Like you're not able to absorb even your 3s then when you're getting them. So is that accurate in the way I said that? Yeah, I don't want to get through all my notes on this, but okay. So the alpha CRS, so this is the big guy for inflammation. So what this really targets is the cell. Cellular energy production. So relieves or relies on stimulant doses is the exogenous provision, and then the endogenous production is where you rely on your body's own well-equipped machinery for production. So yeah, the exogenous is where you see the spike in blood sugar levels, and that's what they're avoiding here. CoQ10, yeah. Anybody else have any? We're all trying to scan our notes quickly.
It basically gets inflammation out. That's the main thing. There's a lot of herbs that are in this one that would be really expensive. So when I first learned about this one, it knocked my socks off because I used to take a lot of this stuff individually and I paid a lot of money for it. So they bottle it and put it in there, and it's a pretty darn good deal. You can get all 3 of those in one. And we can tell you about the bonus if you haven't signed up for the next month.
Right.
You get this for free.
So the big thing on
it's a whole mitochondria, which is your energy.
Yep.
So, and in the alpha CRS, if anybody takes CoQ10, CoQ10 is in alpha CRS.
Right. But the big thing with this one is that it's not a stimulant, so you're not going to see those blood sugar dives. And so one thing that he did say too, which I really liked this analogy, was composting the soil. So when you think about composting the soil, you don't see compost turn into soil instantly, right? So it takes time, and that's kind of the goal of the CRS, alpha CRS as well. So you're going to get that not composting effect really, but you start with compost, it turns into soil over time. You start using the alpha CRS, you're going to see the improvement over time. So really being consistent with this is the key.
That is really true, because I hate taking pills. Okay, real quickly. And so I'll be on these for 3 days. Like the 4th day, I'm like, wait, I feel great. And then I forget it for 2 days, and I'm like,
yeah.
So it is true, but once you're like that 3rd or 4th day, it's just amazing how much better you feel.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Okay, so if you want to know more about it, Google his name, David. If we need it, we can write it out again or something. Or yeah, Brenda's got it. So skincare line, they've packaged the skincare and added new products or ingredients to the skincare line. So there is also 2 new products. One we don't see here. The brightening gel is going to be a new item. Skincare products are coming November 1. So not October, November. So brightening gel, and then there's an awesome eye cream. You guys have probably seen it on the Facebook page with a little roller ball applicator. Yep, tried it. You tried it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shawna and I were together. We tried it. We did one eye and looked at the difference. And
then we had to balance it out.
yeah, we grabbed 2 sticks, so we had one for each eye with the sample of the lotion on it. But yeah, we did one eye first and then gave it a few minutes and looked at it. So the point of it is, if you get on the My Essential Wellness Facebook page, there's a picture with some charts and stuff and some ingredient information on the eye cream. The point of it is instant and long-term effects. So you'll see kind of a chart where it shows how many people had instant and then how many people over time. They did some different age ranges, I think it was, and then different time frames as well. So just to compare results. But so that's an exciting new thing. But November 1st is when that's coming. Let's do a drawing, and then I'll move to the next.
Okay, let's do a book and a diffuser bracelet. 071.
Okay, so the cool thing, and I really hope this is accurate, but they taught us about this at the class last night. We did not hear any of this information, by the way.
Oh yeah.
We are going to be able to customize our skincare kit. So coming in November, we have both the eye care cream and the brightening gel, and we're going to be able to customize our essential skin. Okay, so this is the old packaging. The new packaging, if you get just the essential skincare set, how many of you order Lifelong Vitality Pack on your LRP? Okay, so for those of you who don't know, when you order your vitamin pack on LRP, you can customize your vitamins. And that means that you order your pack and you can choose up to 3 other items for $20 a piece. And the other things are Mito 2 Max, that's the great energy and focus vitamin, and then PB Assist, the probiotic, Terrazyme, the digestive enzyme, Deep Blue polyphenols, that's the, yeah, if you got all kinds of stuff you want to rid of inflammation, muscle stuff. I've even taken that one on my period. It helps with cramps. Children's vitamin set, and you can get an extra pack of the MVZ. I don't know which one it's called right now. The multivitamin and then the omega. So you can add extra ones of those if you take more of those. So anyway, out of all of those, you can add up to 3 for $20 each to kind of customize your vitamins. So say you're focusing more on digestion, add the Terrazyme, PB Assist, that type of thing. Right, thank you. Yep, that's the children's set. It comes with the multivitamin and the omega, the liquid omega, and that is a little bit higher. So that's how you customize your vitamin kit. Same thing is going to happen with your skincare set. This essential skincare set, you're going to be able to add up, I don't know if it's 2 or 3 items. I actually just caught a little blip about this, and that's why I threw it in here. So I'm guessing we're going to hear more about it. Stay tuned to the Facebook page because I will, share whatever I hear as we go. But my understanding is you'll be able to add some, like the brightening gel, the new products, the brightening gel, the eye cream, for a reduced cost onto your skincare set. So That's exciting news too. Yeah. So if you don't know, like those other supplements you can add to your Lifelong Vitality are generally like $30 to $40 a piece. And by getting them at 20, 25, whatever it is, I mean, look at the savings that you're getting. Okay, this is going to be, we're going to try to go through this quickly. This is going to be a gnarly one to get through. Healthcare. We're getting close on time, so I want to try to wrap this up quickly. If you guys can help me consolidate this information. So,
Also know that this is on all of our Facebook pages too, so if this doesn't answer your questions, then there's going to be a lot on there, and there's a lot we actually don't know.
Yeah, so the healthcare, what doTERRA, let me give you maybe the quick and dirty on this. So what doTERRA is going towards is their vision of lower healthcare costs and improved patient outcomes by integrating essential oils into the healthcare system. So their goals: implement patient-centric clinic healthcare model that utilizes essential oils, publish research that proves efficacy and cost savings of essential oils, empower wellness advocates with more opportunity to grow their business, and double our U.S. customer base by 2020. So the point here is that, for one, I don't know if you all saw, they're breaking ground on the healthcare clinic in Salt Lake City, well, in Pleasant Grove. It's right by the headquarters. So that's originally going to be open to just the employees and the wellness advocates in the local area. And then their goal is to have healthcare clinics be popping up all over the U.S. So one by one. And this, I don't know if you've seen, but I'll get to that in a second, I guess. But I did post a link on the Facebook page to vote for your local area to see if they would bring a healthcare clinic. Really, it's just pre-registering is voting. That's casting your votes that you want a clinic here. And what they're really going to try to do, integrative medicine, bridge Western and, alternative natural stuff, and essential oil uses. So doctors that will know about essential oils, which is killer. So this was just a little survey of people that were looking for something. The big thing was, would you be willing to pay a membership fee once a month to have this type of care and this type of clinic that you would go to, as opposed to traditional doctors? So yeah.
That is how it is a membership.
That's my understanding.
That's
Yes.
what I thought.
Yeah.
And they said it really quick. Did you notice that? So
Yeah.
what I think, and I could be wrong on this, there's a clinic that's in Prospect that does this kind of thing. Do you know about this, Tanya? So you might be able to speak more to this, where you pay a monthly fee. Now, I don't know to what end of, like, are we going to be a hospital or what it's going to be? The one in Prospect is not a hospital, and it's not all natural either. But it's kind of a co-op idea where you pay and then you go in and your care will be covered. But they didn't go into the details of it, but it sounds pretty fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But you might want to have, like, if it's not a hospital, like another major medical for when you do have to go there. You have to, but if you have to go to the hospital,
incidental or accidents,
or something like that, where this would be your the bulk of your care.
So really, they're finding that people are looking for this type of healthcare as opposed to what we've got right now. So, so here's the 4-tiered approach, clinic expansion model. So the doTERRA clinics, they're going to have partner clinics, affiliate clinics, and then telehealth, where you can just actually call in and get the help that you need as well over the phone. So these are kind of where they're headed with all that. Yep, clinics and you. So they won't sell essential oils, but they're basically enabling you to understand which oils you could use for whatever situation might be coming up. Provide professional advice regarding proper use of essential oils in healthcare, and then gather data to prove essential oils improve patient outcomes and lower healthcare costs. So this is really the big thing these days. We need the evidence, we need the proof, we need the research, and that's what's going to pull the oils more into healthcare's doctors' offices and healthcare facilities. Obtain better healthcare by joining our clinics when we come to your city. Share data and research gathered from clinics with friends and the public, and benefit from increased exposure to doTERRA and essential oils in general. So that's us as wellness advocates will get those added benefits as well. So here's the website if you want to vote. Yeah, you can still vote. I was thinking convention tickets. So you can get on here. I think there was a time where it was going to end, but it's open still as far as I know. I checked it again this morning. So healthcare.doterra.com. Go on there. You hit pre-register. You just fill out your information, your wellness advocate number, and it's like casting your vote that you would love to have a clinic here. So And I really think the next place that they build one will be really where they get the most votes. So, but their goal over time is to have them all over. So I would actually probably drive the 7 hours to Salt Lake City to go to the clinic there. So, that's how excited I am about this. Okay, we're gonna downgrade our mood a little bit and talk about Days for Girls. We're gonna do a dip and then up
We'll
again.
do a quick,
Yeah.
here you go, raffle. Okay, we're doing Purify, an old book, a deep blue, and a chapstick.
043.
Woo!
All right. So
Did I do that? No.
actually, yeah, let me click on this one. So Brenda's going to share with us a little bit about Days for Girls and what this right here is.
So I'm gonna have Shelly talk about this part because
Oh,
Oh, the Days for Girls.
so don't talk too much because I have a video to play as well. So
Let's
this-
just do the video.
okay, so let me tell you what this is. This is so the girls in what country are they working with mostly?
In Nepal.
Nepal. So far Nepal is the country that we're focusing on.
Madagascar.
There's a couple countries that we're working with
Don't
girls.
treat girls very nice.
Yeah, so the girls they're not educated on what their period is. That's really what this comes down to. So they have no idea. They really look at it as a punishment. They're shunned. They have evil spirits in them when they're on their period. And they're sent to this little hut right here to hang out, bleed on the board. Literally, she can't stand up in there. Bleed on cardboard for a week because they don't have any idea. They think that they're evil during that week. They have no idea. They don't have the
100
education.
degrees and buns.
Yes.
And no pants.
And no pants, right?
This is sheer horrible.
Yeah, it's awful to think about. So what let me see. Let me switch over to the video. My computer's dragging.
From the first day I gave my first kit, it changed everything for me. And I saw the girls look in their eyes as they received the kit and seeing the impact that it could have. This bag holds dignity, health, opportunity, and importantly, it's a doorway to being able to talk about issues we don't want to talk about. We're able to really break down some of the stigma that women face all over the globe, and they can feel confident in their community and not only have what they need, but also have the confidence and the knowledge of what's happening with their body. It's amazing.
We have a large number of women who use doTERRA products, and this is an issue for women and health that is critically important in the world.
I think this is one of the coolest projects there is out there right now. I feel really great to be a part of anything that they do. I think that they are making a huge global impact overall, and that matters to them, and it matters to me.
Part of our mission, our culture as a company, is to be involved with service. And Days for Girls has been a great opportunity in which they can provide some service, but also connect personally with this great Healing Hands Foundation project that we have going on throughout.
I've just heard a lot about the organization since convention and just through work and stuff, and I thought it was a great opportunity to kind of help out and just do what I could for the girls that need it.
It's just that opportunity to kind of like finally do my part and help out and actually be able to make a difference.
Days for Girls is a perfect partner with doTERRA. They represent so many of the things that we represent as a company. To hand them these kits and to see how happy they are and how proud they are. It's been one of the highlights of my participation in the Healing Hands Foundation.
Okay. Brenda.
Okay, so I'll just give you a little bit of background. In 2015, Days to Girls helped 400,000 girls in 101 nations. In February of 2017, 650,000 girls have been helped. And today, 802,527,000 girls have been helped in 114 nations spanning 6 continents. The goal this year is 6 million. So Tara decided, and we, unfortunately, the timings that you could volunteer, they wanted to try to break a world record at convention by making kits. So you could walk by the Days to Girls, there were people always in there. You had to register to be in it, but then, so they were making the products to go in the kits. In each kit, I don't know exactly what's all in it, but there's 10 different products. And so doTERRA's goal was to try to set a world record to do more kits in 1 hour than had ever been done. Previous record was 1,002 kits that were made in 1 hour. They started on Friday night at 7:11 p.m. And after 36 minutes, they ran out of components. And was it David Sterling that went in?
No, Greg Wolf.
Greg Wolf walked in and he said, "Where is everybody?" And they said, "Well, we ran out of products." And so
he panicked.
Yeah, panicked.
He's like, "Great."
Yeah. So the verifier for World Record came up and was talking about it. He said, "I just want to tell you that not only did you break the record, you smashed the record." They assembled 5,110 kits in 36 minutes. So the favorite thing that I kept seeing there was just unbelievable, but their little slogan is "Every girl, everywhere, period."
So this is a picture of all the kits that they assembled, and I think we all get teary-eyed. We're all like crying, just thinking about what they go through.
It's just, these girls were selling their bodies to get a pad. Are you kidding me? A pad.
They would go into prostitution because they,
because they can't have a pad in their pennies.
Yeah,
it's wrong.
They thought it was wrong. They wouldn't be able to go to school, so because they're missing school and education, they turned to prostitution. That was the only thing that they knew. So yeah, just by empowering them, this is an okay thing. This is how babies get here. This is how your body works, and be proud of that. And then giving them the supplies. They make washable panty liners basically, so they can reuse these supplies every month. They get one bag, and that's really all they need. And they're able to go to school now, and they don't have to sit in those ridiculous huts. And they're educated, and even the men too are educated about it. So yeah, it's just really, it's empowering to know that we have a role in that, and that the Healing Hands money that we donate to goes to Days for Girls. So. And then just seeing all these kits that were, when we walked into convention, this entire cubby was white. There's nothing in there. And then after the Guinness Book of World Records,
he even cried.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah. The presenter, who was very nerdy, the Guinness guy, very nerdy, very choppy, broken English. Like he spoke English, but just he wasn't very. You could tell socially awkward, that kind of thing. Yeah, he got teary-eyed when he saw all of this as well. So something really proud, I think, that we're all proud to be a part of. So, and this is the girls when they get their kids. Okay, let's go into another horrible topic. So child trafficking. It's a $32 billion a year industry. Brenda's going to tell us a little bit more about the OUR group and our partnership with them.
So Operation Underground Railroad is a fight to stop the sex trafficking globally. The founder is Tim Ballard, and what a joy to be able to say that doTERRA is not just an oil company, but a humanitarian oil company that goes out and does so many different things. But I kept thinking, child trafficking, that doesn't go on here, but it does. So in our convention room, there were 30,000 people at convention, so 15,000 of us in one room. And when they spoke about this, if you multiplied that by 12, that's the number of girls and boys that are forced into the sex trade in the U.S. alone.
U.S.
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 U.S. So it's not just other places.
Yeah.
It's here. And so doTERRA developed the Hope oil, the Hope Touch oil, and they have distributed those. Now my number might be wrong here, but on the inside of, and I don't have one of these great bottles that has the lifting of the label, and under the label is a phone number. And so when they're out in these communities, both here as well as foreign countries, they will take these oils to these girls or boys too, and say, like in Mesa, Arizona was one that they talked about. They were watching a young girl on the street corner, and they could see her pimp in the car watching. And they walked over to her and they said, "Are you safe?" And she said, "No." And he handed her a bottle of Coke and said, "Lift the label, we will help you." And 2 days later, she called and they rescued her. So over 7,000 units of Hope oil have been delivered, and doTERRA Operation Underground Railroad is saving thousands and thousands. It's amazing. It's an amazing, amazing oil. Kind of segueing into that also is that the doTERRA is also starting to, what happens with a lot of these areas now is that they go into these areas to get these people to arrest them, and they can't because they can't get the information quick enough. They need mobile crime labs that they can get the evidence immediately and arrest the people. And so doTERRA has stepped up to outfit a complete mobile forensics lab in Arizona. Don't have that stuff. But the other thing is they're also training canine dogs now to find the little microchips, and they actually brought 2 of the dogs on stage. doTERRA is going to pay for training of 2 of the dogs.
And their names are?
Their names are Cinnamon Bark and Frank.
No.
And then we saw Earl.
Yeah.
We saw Earl come out on the stage and actually go to the backpacks and find the little microchips that will allow us to then, or not us, but the flash drives and the things that they can't find in these houses.
So
these dogs can do it.
Yeah, the guys are hiding the evidence of the photos, maybe pornography, child pornography, whatever it might be, on flash drives. And of course, those are, microscopic when you're looking through a whole house or wherever you might be searching. So these dogs have been trained to detect them and can.
No.
It's like, yeah, I don't know how it works, but they hid one in the bag on stage. They had, I think one of them was like a cell phone even or something like that. And then another one was a flash drive. So the dogs are trained to detect those and find them so that they're able to get in there, find the evidence, and arrest the people right away. So, and then with the combination of the mobile units, a lot of times and able to process all this data and have enough to arrest them in the time that it takes them to actually process and prove that they can arrest them, is the guy gets away. The people get away and they can't find them anymore. And so by having these mobile units that will literally sit outside the building, process the data, and be able to enable them to immediately arrest them and take them off before they get away. So, I mean, it's really changing the way that these rescues are going. So, yes, yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
canine dogs.
Yeah. So one of the strands with one of the partners that they're partnering with, they pulled on 2 new partners as well to help with this. So it's one thing to rescue the people, right? And then what happens? What happens after that? So with by partnering with 3 strands, they're working to educate, mobilization, and then educate and reintegrate. So it's all kind of a cycle. With the mobilization, they're able to process the data and arrest faster. Educate they're working on both education before and after, really. The reintegration, how to get them back into society and be functioning, children or even adults by that time. but the education both beforehand and after. So educating people too on signs, what to look for, how to know that someone might be trying to traffic you, how to make sure that people stay away, and how to communicate that kind of just educating kids on that too.
And that's the 3 strands actually is going into the schools. It started in California, is where it's organized. So they're teaching kids from grades 5, 7, 9, and 11. It's a whole program that they do on the computer about what to do, how to save yourself too. Utah, there's a Utah school that's partnering also to educate the children.
So then the other, 3 strands, the education research. So a lot of what they did prior to the test, they asked, I could define human trafficking. 75% of them said they could. After the education that they provide, 98% of them said they could. Do you know about human trafficking hotline? 14% of them said they knew about it, 90% after the test. I understand the steps necessary to prevent myself and others from becoming a victim. So going from 55 to 98%. So this is big. It's empowering these kids and hopefully preventing them from being trafficked in the future. So what are the other partners? Do you have something to say on this one?
So this is the
Rafa House.
Rafa House is really where they bring these kids that may have been years and years with involvement, and basically, loving them and rescuing them and getting them back into society. Because if they've been that far gone.
Like in the foster care and that kind of thing?
No.
I think that would be later. This would be more like, they brainwash them into really work with them. Yeah.
So these are the centers in Cambodia, Thailand, and Haiti, where they bring them in and they help being able to integrate them to get them back. And again, I mean, not just an oil company.
Yeah, there's a lot more behind these oils. So prevent with the education, then they rescue, and then the aftercare rehabilitation between the 3 strands, the Underground Railroad and Rafa House. So really it's an all-encompassing project now. So I think it was great that they pulled in the other 2 partners too.
Your dollar can do that.
Yep. So with Healing Hands, I was going to go through some facts. So this shows a little bit too about what Healing Hands has done. October 4th, 2016 with Hurricane Matthew, that what we showed a little bit more in Haiti with the vetiver, all the destruction that it caused. So 70 to 80% of the homes lost their roof or were flooded. We replaced 588 roofs with the Healing Hands Foundation money, drilled 3 new wells, and helped build schools for the vetiver communities, allowing farmers to better provide for their families. So all because of you, which was the theme of our whole convention. So some of the great ways to donate with Healing Hands, again, the smile.amazon.com. Really, instead of just going to amazon.com, you go to smile.amazon.com. Just get in the habit of doing that, and then go and select your foundation that you want to donate to, and Healing Hands Foundation is listed. By buying the doTERRA Rose Lotion, that's $20 in your LRP. It's 0 PV, but all the money for that goes directly to Healing Hands. The new doTERRA Hope Oil, that one's 20 as well, right?
It's 20.
Yeah, 0 PV, $20.
All
goes to Operation Underground Railroad, yep. Or you can check the box, the $1 box. So again, taking the people that were at convention, there were 30,000 of us, and that's just those of us at convention. Like Kim had mentioned before, if it was the 5 million wellness advocates that are around the world, not everybody orders every month. So I was downsizing it a little bit, but even with just the 30,000 of us that were at convention, if we all donated $1 each month on our LRP, that's $30,000 a month. So this is huge. It's a huge impact that we can all have. So check that little checkbacks on your LRP and just throw another $1 in to help these guys out with their amazing, amazing work. So that's that.
Who wants a backpack? Okay, your number to get this backpack is 099.
Oh, so this was a previous year convention backpack. So you don't see this one around ever.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do a soap, a deep blue. We'll do this and a toothpaste. This is a big one.
0, 5, 7. We're doing another one?
Let's do one more. Let's do the new one, and this is the fancy schmancy
Apron. You could do a little cooking, a little aroma touch, or Symphony of the Cells protocol. Put all your oils in there. You got your bottle of fractionated coconut oil. Whatever you want to do. Wear the thing around. Wear it with nothing else, and your neroli. Whatever you want to do. Yeah.
0, 5, 6.
Yeah. Okay, so never believe that a few caring people can't change the world, for indeed that's all who ever have. So this again just goes back to our healing hands. And this was really the theme of the year, just showing how, I don't know if you guys all caught, but Brenda and Shelly got the chance to share a little clip with the doTERRA people, did a little, tell us about your experience with that.
So Shelly and I it was after registration, and we went to go get the truck, and we're walking, the convention levels are 2 levels. So we're upstairs, and there's hardly anybody up there. And this gal and girl came up to us and said, "You want to come back and have your pictures taken?"
And
Shelly's
Shelly's response to anything when you ask her a vague question is, "Whoa, that's a loaded question." So,
It feels like we're doing a dirty drug deal. What do we got going on here? And they're probably very sweet, Mormon people, and that probably just the thought of that, they were like, "What?"
No comment.
We work for doTERRA, and they showed us their credentials. So we walk into this room, and they've got cameras set up, and they hand us waivers to sign. And we're like, "What?"
We had no idea.
No idea. And they said, "What do you do?" And I said, "Well, I'm a wife, a mom, and a chiropractor. Write that down." So I did, and then they took us back into these little, not cubicles, but this one area. It was a photo shoot. Yeah, it was a photo shoot. The guy's taking a picture, and then I come out of there, and he said, "Oh, now come over here to do video." And I was like, "What?" And I'm thinking, okay.
I wish I could have seen you two doing this.
But
I would have died laughing.
You go there, you see these huge pictures of people. I mean, big pictures of people.
Like, picture our heads the size of that wall.
Yeah.
That's how big our heads were.
Black and white.
Shelly, I was thinking, okay, maybe this is for like next year or something. And Shelly's like, "Imagine our mug shots, these big shots." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever."
Yep.
So was it the next day or 2 days later?
Next day. Yeah.
I was standing in line. Shelly and I went to go get something, and I'm like, "You gotta go and get in early." So I'll just stand in line here, and I'm standing in line, and all of a sudden I get this text from Rebecca, "Your mugshot's on the wall." I'm like, "What?"
So they were flashing up on the screen everybody's pictures, just showing we're all people. We're all in this. We all do the same thing. So and then this was kind of the theme. You learn, you connect, and you see how it says doTERRA Wellness Advocate, the person's name. So that was a lot of what it said. It said Brenda Shelton, Shelly Pomeroy, and it said doTERRA Wellness Advocate. Normal people, yeah. So you connect, you believe. So that was just a fraction of it. But these pictures were flashed all throughout convention, and even the little video. It was just like a short little clip of them, like, or something like that, whatever they were doing funny. It was, but really neat. It was really neat to see and to know that those clips of those people were actually people they were grabbing from convention. So anyway, that was that. So thank you all for coming. I'm going to end the recording. So
2 more raffles.
Thank you everyone for coming on the class.
Okay, we'll do a digest then and the new book.